Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everybody, from all around the world, hello and welcome back to another episode of The Watchable with me, your host, Jean-Luc Welch. That's right. Make some noise, clap it up, get excited wherever you are. We are back with another action-packed show for today, and we are now in the week of the biggest fight, the card of the year, Ring 4, with Benn as yard, Brian Norman versus Devin, Haney, and Benn Rodriguez, a whole slew of them, all happening on this weekend. We're going to talk about that as well as the what happened last weekend with the likes of Conor Benn getting revenge over Chris Eubanks Jr. in his rematch to finally be the first man to beat a Eubanks in the ring and putting what potentially is an end to this 35-year rivalry. Will it be the end? Actually, we're going to have to find out and wait and see what's going to be the moves beyond this for the likes of Conor Benn and for Eubanks Jr. going forward. We're going to break down the fight. We're going to react to it all. We're going to talk. We're going to chat. We're going to conversate. We got other news that we need to also discuss as well. Like with Usyk dropping his belt, and now we got Fabio Wardley being the new WBO heavyweight champion of the world, getting elevated from regular champ to outright dominant champ. So, or outright world or super championship status. All that and more we're going to discuss right here on the show. We appreciate your time. We appreciate your effort. We appreciate you tuning into the show. If you haven't already and you're new to the channel, hey, if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Come on. Get the likes up on this show. Get the likes up on this channel. Subscribe if you haven't already. Come join the Empire. Be sure to hit the notification bell so you know whenever we post right here on YouTube and on every podcasting platform imaginable. Also, be sure that you go and share the show with everybody that you know so we can keep on building. Yes, sir. Up this empire together. Yes, sure. Yes, ma'am. Anybody listening, anybody watching, we can grow this thing to new heights and become the hottest show in all the. We already are, but we're gonna help you have to have the numbers back up the claim. All with you and your support, with you helping us out, no question about it. We appreciate all of the energy, all the effort, all of the zeal that this show always brings every week, and you being a part of the conversation. Hey, don't forget, if you also want to be a part of the conversation, be sure to leave a chat in the comment section so we can see what your thoughts and opinions and your identity, not identity, we don't know, and about who you are. It's about what you are. Whoever you are, don't matter. We all love you being here, but we want to hear what you got to say. We want to hear how you feel. We want to hear what you got in opinions for this whole conversation of whatever we talk about on this show. Absolutely, because we can't do this without you, and you help make this show great. No question about it. But with all that being said, we got a lot of show to cover. We got boxing dove into. We got sports to cover. So, with all that being said, it is time to step into the ring. Oh, yes. Ring the bell. Let's get it started. Round one of this show going underway as we have to discuss. First and foremost, Benn beats Eubanks in the rematch. Yes, indeed, it finally happened. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? It finally happened. And finally, after 35 years, finally a Benn has beat a Eubank in a fight that, in all actuality, I was wrong. And unlike what you all were saying was going to happen in this for the build-up of this fight, this was not a miracle type of situation for Conor Benn. This was an complete and utter domination on the side of Conor. This was he was just better all around in every way. I mean, in every way imaginable, and it didn't make no sense from the standpoint of the amount of retooling that we saw Conor Benn use in this fight to go and turn this fight into a complete one-sided affair. It was shocking, genuinely shocking. It was something I didn't expect. It was something that honestly, I didn't think he was going to go that much. This man went from being somebody who was just, who was so relentlessly set on trying to wipe out his opponent in Eubanks. The grudge, the blood, the animosity, the outright hatred, the rage, all of that in the first fight caused for a reckless, more so overzealous affair. In this fight, it was completely different, and you know what it was? The persona that he put on in the build up to this fight perfectly matched the fight that he put on against Eubanks in their second time out, because this man was poised, calm, cool, and collected. Hey man, Conor Benn fought in such a way I didn't expect him to fight, and he fought in such a calm and very much deliberate standpoint. Again, as we're gonna break down the fight right now, this brother Conor Benn, he beat Eubanks every round. I had to fight 11-1 in terms of rounds. Wouldn't be surprised if somebody else had a 12-0, or at least somewhere close to it. Conor Benn was able to use his jab and beat Eubanks on the outside. And then on the inside, he was able to go through and not just jab to the body, but land some good straight right hands and hooks, but then get out of dodge and play the game and do the song and dance all over again. Not just going back with what works, but was being more judicial with his work and willing to take not just what was given, but take initiative to stay the course and keep consistency in how he's trying to open up Eubanks. And he did just that. Use his speed, use his explosiveness, use his ability to lunge in and to close the gap quickly, to score through and around the guard of Eubanks Jr. Then when Eubanks tried to counter, instead of him trying to go and land 2 or 3 shots on Eubanks when he was in range, he would go through and get out of dodge. Slip and get back, duck and get back. Or duck, land 1 more shot and then go back and keep him on his toes, feinting every other way, looking like he would match him off in there, consistently showing looks, showing feints, giving foot feints, head feints, body feints, whatever feints you could think of, giving Eubanks a sense of uncertainty all fight long, causing him to be more unpredictable, causing him to feel more out of place, causing him to feel very much uneasy, especially after round one. Round one was Eubanks' best round as a whole. After that, it was nothing else. Because Benn was just better. He was better in every single way. And it all led and came to a head at round 12, when he kept on going to the body, when he kept on being consistent, when he kept on not getting overzealous, and when he kept on using his speed to his advantage and forcing Eubanks not just on the back foot, but also being more calm and collected in the process of still applying pressure to Eubanks. The brother earned a knockout. He earned a couple knockdowns. At the end of round 12, we saw this man knock down Eubanks twice. Legit. Not no fake. Not no slip. He legit put Eubanks down. Had him hurt. Had him walk. It was a 1-2 that caught him on the temple with like the edge of his knuckle. Started the beginning of the real damage and sent Eubanks down. Then he kept on staying on top of him. Then that's when you started to see the ability, or rather the aggression now be able to take hold and become full force, and he knocked him down again. In the waning seconds of round 12, and the round ends with Eubanks, like y'all said in the chat, jumping on top of the ropes, hands in the air, screaming to the crowd, saying, I finally got one. And brother, he did. That's one of the best performances I've seen Eubanks have in his career outright, because that had everything, and it also lacked the main thing that we were all concerned about, especially with him not having nearly as much power as he had at 147 in the lower weight classes, due to, again, the PEDs and all that stuff. His over anxiousness to try to cause and inflict pain was something that, without that pop, could potentially get him in trouble, like it did in the first fight with Eubanks, causing him to lose. And now he won in a fashion that was completely averse from what I thought he was going to be able to do. But my gosh, it showed not just growth, it showed not just maturity, but now this Conor Benn has some options now. Hey, the brother's got some options. Brother got some potential situations. Man's got some leeway, some room to move. in terms of what he can do with his career going forward. And boy, it is incredible. Let me keep on reading you all's chats right here, right now for the world to be able to see. Hey, so I'm in the rotor. What's going on with you? How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning into the show. Appreciate you coming in on the live with us today. Thanks so much for you tuning in. Let me see. I told you Ben was going to win. Yeah, you did. Hey, you did. You did. I can't say nothing. I was wrong in my prediction. I was wrong. I had Eubanks winning. I did. I had Eubanks being able to grow off of the same successes that he had in the first fight, and I thought he was going to be able to pull it out. I also thought this fight was going to be incredibly more hotly contested, a lot closer, very much even more of a war, because both fighters making adjustments than the last time. I said that, and lo and behold, I was wrong. And hey, all credit to Eubanks. He made me wrong. He made me wrong. Absolutely. It was ridiculous. Let me see. Almost got the KO. Yep. If he had been able to land that shot in round 11, round 12, he would have gotten the stoppage. I guarantee you. I guarantee you. He would have gotten the stoppage in round 11 if he had had one more round. If he had one more round, he would be able to get that stoppage. But the way he got it was so incredible, because it's a way I didn't think he was going to have in him. He had never been somebody that was very much waiting on the best shot to happen. He always tries to force it, but now he waited, and he kept on doing the things that worked and continued to open up the guard, but never get overzealous. And I tell you, if you had watched, and also we live streamed the whole fight. If you tuned in the live stream, hey, thank you very much. I appreciate it. We appreciate it so much that you came in and wanted to come through and subscribe, and not subscribe. Thank you for subscribing and tuning in for the show. It was great. It was a phenomenal fight. Again, I had to save my voice, so I could only do the main event. So I couldn't call the Jack Catterwall card and all that stuff. I couldn't do all that because we wanted to make sure I gave y'all the best. But in that one fight, boy, it was a time. We had a time. We had fun. So thank you all for tuning in. But I said in round 4, when he really started to take control, if he keeps up this same stuff, the knockout will come, and he doesn't need to force anything. Or the knockdown will come at minimum. And you don't have to go and get overzealous. Don't give up your lead for what's working, especially when it's working in such a dominant fashion. And lo and behold, that's what happened. That's what happened. It was incredible. I'm telling you, it was phenomenal. Ben went crazy at the fight. And let me tell you something. Looking at that image of Conor Benn on top of the shoulders of his father, Nigel Benn, with their backs to the camera and arms outstretched to the crowd, destroyer on the waist, with everybody screaming and hollering, cheering for him. Brother, that was a moment in time. Oh my gosh, that was a chills type of moment. That was incredible. It was much deserved. It was much earned. It was about time. It was revenge. Revenge and redemption. He is finally, again, he's a Ben that finally got a win over a Eubank in this entire storied rival. And of every fight that's been throughout this entire generation of war, this was the most concrete, absolute, dominant display that anybody in that family had put against the other. Any of them. Both of them. Both Benns and Eubanks. This was the most dominant performance of any fight of that generational saga. And it was insane. It was insane. It was really, it was beautiful to watch. And it was incredible. It's like, I'm telling you, that's what history does. Helps make those moments pop even more. And it was, just credit to him. We congratulations to Ben. Absolutely. Let me see. Who in the chat going crazy watching Haney versus Norman? So he told him, hey, look, we're watching, everybody getting ready to watch that fight. Because I'm telling you, right after this, Ring Magazine, Ring 4 is happening right afterwards. This week, we're excited. We can't wait for it. Oh my gosh, it's going to be exciting. That's what time the fight's going to be going on. Yeah, no, it's going to be early. I can't remember if over here in the States it's going to be in the afternoon or in the morning. Because if it is 3:30 in the morning, good gosh, if it's in the afternoon, yeah, it might be a little bit better. But regardless of which, Regardless of which, everybody's on pins and needles for that fight. I can guarantee you. And we're gonna talk about that in the card, the question with Devin Haney, is he gonna fight scared? We're gonna talk about it after this because I got one more thing I need to say in regards to Conor Benn and Chris Eubanks. I need to touch on one more thing before we go on and continue. Conor Benn father must be proud of us. And yeah, man, the buddy was almost crying on the mic, deservedly so, because he was like, man, yeah, he was a proud father. He understood the legacy. He understood he understood the weight of what this fight was. Understanding this, his son was going through the same thing he went through when he lost and drew to Eubanks when he in his career in fights that were incredible. And it was like the weight of having, man, I gotta get this win. I need to make sure I get it. It's a lot. I'm telling you, that's why he never left his son's side in the corner. That's why he's been by his son's side for most of this entire buildup. He knows, like, yeah, this was a big weight gotten off his shoulders. It was a big weight, man, and it was incredible. And it will definitely go down in history. No question about it. Hey, listen, Haney wins by decision, especially with those referees over there. I don't trust them at all. Turkey always has something up. See, like I said, we're going to discuss that. We're going to discuss Ring 4, Haney Norman, right after this. So give me like 5 minutes, because I do need to ask one thing about Eubanks before we move on in regards to this fight with Conor Benn that they had in their rematch. Was Eubanks weight drained? Because that brother was looking slow. I'm gonna be real. With as much as Conor Benn adjusted, and this is going and changing gears. And like I said, I'm in Rhoda. I think Benn becomes champion at 147. Yeah, at 147. Oh yeah, definitely. I think if he moves back down, if he fights like this, yeah, this is a Conor Benn that I think can do some real trouble and gain the title under 160. Yeah, I truly think he can. This Conor Benn, I think, can compete at 154 as well. But the best option would be going back down to 147 and fighting to get some championships if he wants to go there. Yeah, I can see him doing it, no question. But in regards to Eubanks, real quick, we do need to switch gears real quick. Hey, brother, Eubanks, what happened to him? I mean, it's a great day in the morning. This man was, I'm telling you, this cat was weight drained. He had to have it. Because as good as Eubanks looked, as good as Conor Benn looked, Eubanks looked slow as dirt. Did anybody think after round 1, the only round that I had him winning, he looked slow as dirt. And it wasn't just because of the speed of Conor Benn, but Eubanks literally looked sapped, drained. He looked finished from the standpoint of energy. If it every straight punch, his jab was slow. His straight right hand was slow. The quickest punch that he had was his hook, and even that wasn't nearly as fast as we've seen him. The reaction time was off. And that's the thing. Conor been frozen with the feints. You're absolutely right. He did. I'm not saying he did. Again, I'm not taking anything away from the performance of Conor Benn. He did everything right. Absolutely. He did make Eubanks worry. But at the same vein, we were calling it live on the fight night. Adjacent to the feints itself, even when it was when it was Eubanks being the one to initiate the offense or initiate, okay, I'm starting to come forward now. Everything about him seemed sluggish, slow as molasses. He seemed the energy that we normally have, especially from the first fight that we saw. This looked night and day different, especially by like round 5. And it wasn't because he was tired. Because mind you, this was the same weight, same rehydration clause with 10 pounds rehydration limit and all that stuff as the first fight. And he looked drastically different in that first fight than he did this one. Not just because of the end of the requisite type of war it was, but his own reaction and actions and how he was throwing shots, how he was throwing punches, how he was reacting and how he was moving as a whole. It looked night and day. It looked night and day. So he said he was dealing with some stuff. He said he's got to reevaluate some things. You know, he didn't make no excuses. But I'm assuming that this cat, most likely, man, you don't need to be fighting at 160 no more. You need to stay at 168 or bigger. Cause you cutting down to 160 again, but it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. I'm sorry. I truly don't. I truly think Eubanks can't fight at 160 no more. I don't think he can. Because this is the second time he's had this much of a. And if you've seen Eubanks in weight cut, oh my gosh, it looks like a nightmare. This is the second time he's gone through this. There's no way, for his own better behavior, that he stays at 160 and fight. He better move up. Because if he doesn't, man, it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. For his own career and health as a whole, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it because that would, ooh. And look, it looks all sorts. But now we can go and switch gears into the next topic of discussion. Let me make sure I actually have this thing right. Here we go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's get it started. Yeah, buddy. Devin Haney versus Brian Norman. Yes, sir. In the whole of Ring Magazine card as a whole, and more specifically, in regards to the question at hand, will Haney fight scared in this fight with the likes of Brian Norman? Because now everybody's all focused on this card. I dare say that Haney versus Norman got more hype around it from the standpoint of buzz than the headliner Benavidez and Anthony Hart. From the standpoint, Norman versus Haney got more buzz behind it than Benavidez versus Anthony Hart. Not saying that fight isn't important or exciting, because it is. I'm not saying it don't deserve to be a headliner, because I'm telling you what, that fight gonna be a war from the standpoint of how both of them go. It's gonna be great, or at least on paper. This one got some huge ramifications, and the mental state of Devin Haney still is a big question for a whole swath of boxing fans. Oh, yes, it is. Oh, yes, it is. People don't know. People scared. People very scared of what's going to happen. Very concerned with what's going to happen. Absolutely. Absolutely. But, I almost forgot. Before we switch gears, hey, if you like what you're hearing, leave a like on the stream and keep on commenting. We appreciate all of you coming in on the show. Also, I say this tentatively. I think now we're officially monetized. I think we are. I think now, hold on. We're going to do soft claps. Because I don't want to say nothing. I think yes. But if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. We're going to probably have a full-blown thing. Full-blown confirmation on Thursday. But I think now we done passed the threshold and we done. We're finished. I believe we're here, and I hope I'm right, because if I'm wrong, and somebody tries to pay me, and all of a sudden, it ain't gonna work. It's gonna be like, oh, hey, you look like a fool, you lied, and all of a sudden, y'all gonna be unsubscribing. I can't be having that. Hey. So I say it tentatively, and we'll probably confirm it once we come back on Thursday. But I think we done crossed the threshold. I think we officially done, and I think we're fully monetized now. Hey, again, soft claps. Soft claps. We're probably gonna be confirmed on Thursday. But I think we got it. So hey, it's all well and good. But let me keep on reading what you all had to say. For that matter, if somebody wants to test it and send me a super chat, because I don't know if these things are working tonight. Like I said, all this is new to me. Hey. We all running together. So we're going to see how this stuff works. If it even works in the first place. So we're going to find it. But regardless of which, let me keep on reading what you all had to say. And let's keep this show going. The Malt Network, if I didn't say hi to you already, Malt Network, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning into the show. Let's see. Benn versus Shakur would be fight. That would be a very good fight. I am not going to lie. That would be a very good fight. That would be an incredible fight. If, in fact, that did take place. Now, again, we got some news with T.O. and Shakur. I got to make sure I play that clip on this show when we get to the other news segments as we continue on, with the fact that it looks like they are going to fight next year in January. They're just getting some money together. As T.O. was on a separate podcast, the name eludes me at the moment, but I'll play the clip later on to once we get out of this segment to discuss it. But that fight look probably going to happen. Then afterwards, if Conor Benn does move back down, then okay, we got some moves. So we can see what happens here. Benn has some serious power. If he's able to knock down Eubanks at 160, okay, we got to have some power that we can respect. Even adjacent to, again, the PEDs or the now lack thereof PEDs that are in his system. That he looked like he wasn't the same brother when he was fighting off of him. initially. But now, maybe we should have had him in the first place to look like he's able to punch just fine. He can KO Barrios, Rolly, and Ryan. He can KO Rolly. Yes. Ryan, yes. Yeah. He's got the potential to at least, I don't know about knock out all three, but he's got the potential to knock down all three, absolutely. And definitely he can knock out Lewis Crocker as well. But let me see. I feel Norman is massive overlook. And see, now we can get to nitty gritty. All right, now we can get to the nitty gritty. Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on, wait a second. Wait a minute, hold on, wait a minute. Everybody, hold up. Everybody stop. Let's make sure this is working. Hold on. I think we just have our first super chat. Wait a second. Franklin Zana? Hey, brother, you one of the first ones here. Wait a minute. Is this real? Oh, my gosh, it's real. We just got paid officially. Let's go. All right. Okay. We did it. We done made it. I had to confirm. Like I said, we hadn't tested it before. We done did it. Okay. So we're here now. Ladies and gentlemen, you're looking at this deserves an official intro. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time on YouTube, we can now confirm because it works now. We are officially done with the whole process of potentially getting monetization. You can still give to Cash App and PayPal, but now you can get through YouTube because we done made it, baby. We monetized. We full blown into the system of the world of gaining money and getting paid. Me sitting on a throne of dollars, on a throne of green. And now that we got paid, guess what I'm gonna say? Hey, give me some money, dog. I ain't clicking on nobody's chest until I get some dough. You better pay me. It's gonna be a cover charge of minimum $20 just to be able to say hi. If you want to actually say a take, you gotta have 50. Anything more than 4 sentences, guess what? 120. You're doing all right. We have charging everybody. We letting all the money go to my head now. Oh, you're doggone right. Yeah. Oh, we switching up now. we switching up. We switching up now.
We got some problems here.
Oh shoot. Oh man. Ain't nobody saying nothing to me. Oh shoot. Oh man. It's all jokes. It's all jokes. But look, for real, now that we got it confirmed, hey, we appreciate it. We're so happy. Y'all helped make this possible. Like I said, I didn't say nothing because I wasn't sure this thing was going to work. Now that it's worked, let me take some time real quick to say thank you all so much. All 2,060 of y'all, 61 of y'all, however long it's been, what a 2-year journey we've been going through, and now we officially here for all the live streams, for all the time y'all spent, the interactions, the debates, all of it. Whether you love me, you hate me, you don't know me, it don't matter. Just the fact that you tuned in means the world to me, and it means so much that we actually got to this point. It's been a hard, and I mean a hard road, working behind the scenes to get here. I've had some other stuff I had to work with. We're trying to set some things up for the future, and this has been just really trying to make sure we get an audience, and I'm able to be entertaining for y'all to sit back and enjoy. Because like I said, we want to earn the money. Oh, we want to be rich. I do. But I want to make sure we make a community that it is, hey, this is something different. Or even if it ain't something different, it's something that's better than the rest, or as best as it can be. And so I really wanted to make this something special and make it so that this can be a career and a community that is able to be self-sustaining, as well as it's worth your time. You want to invest in this, and you want to hear what I got to say, and you want to hear what the public has to say. So all of this has been a long road. We appreciate it so much. You all made this possible. I cannot do this show without any of you here. And so without you all, this is just nothing. With y'all, this is everything. I do this for y'all. Again, the money, I want to be rich. Sure, who doesn't? But we want to make something that has some substance behind it. And hopefully we've made that accomplished. And hopefully you'll want to stick around and keep on listening to us. And we hope and pray that this show keeps on growing and thriving. And we keep on living up to the standard that you all expect of excellence, unbiased opinions, and legitimately knowledgeable fun. And having a laugh all the time. And being a place where everybody can come through and genuinely enjoy themselves. And you know what? You feel free. No matter who you are, where you come from, don't matter. Race, creed, credit, man or woman, I don't care. We about the fights, and we about having fun. We about learning, as well as being able to make your day a little bit better. So hopefully we made that possible. And we We couldn't do this without you all. So we thank you all so much. We appreciate it. Yes, y'all made this possible. Hey, we did it. The work's going. We're going to keep on growing. Absolutely. All with you and your support. So thank you all so much. We finally crossed the threshold. So yes, sir. We're going to be growing rapidly. But sentimentalities aside, hey, let's get back to the topic at hand. Let's get back to the show. Now I've said my thanks. We got to make sure that we still keep in line with what's going down right now. Also, again, Mo Network, congratulations, brother. Thank you so much for the congratulations, for the well wishes. Again, all of you all made this possible. We appreciate it oh so much. And again, one more time, thank you. Without you, this ain't possible at all. And it's a blessing to all of you all being here with us. And hopefully, we can turn this into something insane. And for the better. Not the same for the worse, I'm saying for the better. Absolutely. But let me keep on reading, because now we at Haney fighting scared against Brian Norman. So let's jump into it, shall we? Norman versus Haney is the real main event for a lot of people. Norman versus Haney is looking like the biggest crescendo of what this fight's going to be. Now, that doesn't mean that the rest of the card is weak. It ain't, not in the slightest. Nobody. But it's the most impactful call, or impactful fight for the careers of both Norman and Haney, and the volatility as well as the hype between both of them has elevated everybody up to the stratosphere. In terms of world acclaim and eyes on the fight. So it's my gosh. It's incredible, and I can't wait. I can't wait to see it. That's what I'm saying. I can't wait to see it. It's gonna be exciting. Now, I think Norman's going to shock a lot of people. He might. I'm not saying if the shock is a knockout. I don't know if that's necessarily going to be a shock from the standpoint of we all expect if there was a way that Brian Norman wins, it would be by KO. I think the shock is more so on the side of Devin Haney, because this question of Haney is still popping up for the world to have to talk about. Is Devin Haney going to fight scared against the likes of Brian Norman? That's the concern. That's the big concern. If Haney does not fight scared, I think that'll be a bigger shock than the likes of, if Brian Norman knocks him out. Because we're all still saying, with all of the boxing ability, the technical stuff, the being able to go through and have the luxury of okay, you can box, you got speed and all this stuff. You're doing all this great work, but you also got caught consistently to the point that now you changed up who you are as a fighter. For the worse, when you went up against Jose Ramirez, now what are you going to be going forward from this point on against people that can crack? And are you still going to have that mental block of, hey, I can't fight to get hit at all? In a, not just uber conservative, but in an outright fearful state. If he doesn't come into this fight like that, I'm not going to lie, I would be shocked. They can say, look, and you saw, if I can find it, I'll pull it up on social media, but you saw them. It's just Devin Haney, Bill Haney going through and saying, see, this ain't Photoshop. This muscle ain't no touch and go type situation. No, this is real. We built this body brick by brick and all that stuff. This is real muscle, flexing all that stuff, looking at what Devin Haney looks like at 147, which, to be fair, it does look impressive what Devin Haney's physique looks like at 147. But all of that could still be a bundle of lies, and we still see that brother fight as if he's still at 135, but in the worst way. And by that I mean he still isn't, forget trusting his body, he isn't trusting his chin or trusting his ability to box like we know he can box. And instead, he's just going to go through and run. That is a real scared possibility. Shoot, even Teddy Atlas in one of his breakdowns of the entire fight was seeming to be was saying he doesn't know where Devin Haney's headspace is. And we were talking about Devin Haney. I've been talking about Devin Haney's headspace for almost a month longer, because the brother, what you showed, regardless of in the gym, what we think you are, what you showed in that ring against somebody that you should have been able to do whatever you want with, but just because he had an inkling of power, you went through and walked back the entire time and was fighting like you were in survival mode against a brother that you could have thrived in when you were fighting him in the ring, in Ramirez. Now against a really heavy hitter, we don't know if you're going to be able to have the confidence you need to box. Like you need to box in order to beat a fighter of this caliber. That's where I'm concerned. I'm really concerned. And I dare say I think he might come in fighting scared. I really do. But let me see. I watched Norman recent fights. He does move his feet. I watched Norman's recent fights. He does move his feet well with his punches. And that's the biggest thing. If Haney does fight going backwards, this cat's going to go through and have a situation where he is, what's he going to be? Back against the ropes. And you won't be able to go and just skirt around like you were against Ramirez. When you're going against somebody who is moving just as good as you, or again, like with Norman, I've said multiple times, he's got good feet. Doesn't mean he's got fast feet, but he's got good feet. Good feet means, brother, I may not be as fast as you, but I know how to use them to be as fast as you. I may not be able to run as quick as you to point A to point B, but I know how to take angles better. I know how to anticipate better. I know how to align myself so that even with less steps than you're taking, I'm still able to get to the same spot as you're trying to get you, or beat you there, or cut off that angle, cut off that escape option, and force you to have to fight me face to face. And that's where I know Haney is going to get in trouble. And he's going to have to bite down his mouthpiece at one point. And because of what he showed in his last outing, I don't know if he can. I don't know if he can. I really don't know if he can. It's a concern. It really is a concern. He uses angles with the combinations. Absolutely. Yes, he does. No question about it. Let me see. Abdullah and Noakes, fight of the night. I'm saying Yard's going to be fight of the night. Yard versus Benavidez is going to be fight of the night. But, yeah, Abdullah Sam, it might be. Sleeper thing might be Ben Rodriguez. Knowing him, he might just steal the entire show. From the standpoint of performance and outright fight that he has, it could be Ben Rodriguez that takes this hold. I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious. But let me see. Yard seems very confident. He does. Now, Yard always does seem confident. I'm not going to lie. He acts cocky. He acts very much in a light that's, he like his trainer says, I don't need to teach him anything. He teaches me stuff. That quote, he acts like he's heard that multiple times. Okay, yeah, I'm the stuff. I'm that dude. I'm that bad type of situation. So I'm not surprised, but he better be very much cautious. Be confident. Better be cautious, though. Because I'm telling you right now, buddy, you're going to be in a world of trouble if you fight against the likes of Benavidez and you think you know everything you need to beat him. It ain't going to be that easy. It ain't. I guarantee you it ain't. Because you lost to people worse than the likes of Benavidez. Like an older Kovalev. Don't forget. You didn't look as good against Lyndon Arthur as we thought you were supposed to. Especially with where you are in your career versus Lyndon Arthur. So, yeah, you're going to be some concern. It's going to be some concern, I guarantee you. I promise you, it's going to be some concern. Absolutely. Also, Mo Network, hold on a second. Wait a minute. So much for the super chat. Thank you for the $2. We appreciate you. Again, I got to get used to start saying the dollar amounts as well as reading out the name. Again, it's new to me. We're gonna try to implement some new stuff now. But we're gonna thank you so much for sending it. If you can, please help support. If you want to chat, and we guarantee that you don't get that you get read. Hey, go ahead, feel free. Send me some dough. Absolutely. But let me see what you got to say. You're an inspiration. Talking underdogs on YouTube. Hey, man, look, I appreciate it. Like I said, I'm small. We're small. I'm not saying that we ain't going to grow. We starting from the bottom. I get that. But guess what? This is why we kept on saying we are going to be great regardless of the situation and regardless of the matter. This community is going to thrive. And we're going to gain the notoriety. It's going to come. I guarantee you. We just got to be consistent. And if we keep on doing it, we are going to blow up. And I appreciate all the support. We already did it right now. We're already gaining traction now. Look, a year from now, 2 years from now, who knows where this is going to be? All I know is I'm going to be here for the ride. And hopefully y'all will too. And again, we appreciate it. So hopefully I'm an inspiration. And hopefully I'm hopefully I'm somebody's rep. And hopefully I'm doing my job. That's the biggest thing. And y'all are enjoying it. That's all I can ask for. And thank you again so much. And we appreciate it. Absolutely. But let me keep on reading. What you had to say. Congratulations on getting monetized. And keep up the good work, brother. We love and appreciate you. Hey, look, I appreciate y'all too. Absolutely. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all again. Hopefully y'all having a great day. And hopefully you want to stick around. And we can keep on having this great conversation. No question about it. Bam going to dance. Bam going to look to dance around Puma. You think he'll dance? I don't think so. I could see him fighting backwards, maybe for like a couple rounds. And then, like Bam always does, come forward and then really use those angles, especially that angled uppercut that he loves to use. And with that defense of being able to, once he gets your rhythm, he's able to block and slip nearly everything with the greatest of ease. And then just come in with hard shots. Yeah, I think it's going to knock him out. Or at least it's going to be unanimous decision. I'm not saying that his opponent ain't good. Bam is just that great. He's just that great, man. He's just that great. Let me see. Von Grenier, how you doing? Good to see you. Glad to see you coming back into the channel. Let me see what you got to say. I hope Norman is mentally focused to go the whole 12 rounds if he can't get the knockout. I'm not concerned about that. I don't think going late into a fight is the biggest concern. I think the biggest concern with him is simply, will the speed of Devin Haney give Norman trouble? That jab, especially the jab and footwork, will it give him trouble? Or will those good feet become apparent that Haney has nowhere to go? That's the biggest question. But the standpoint of going the distance, I don't think we have to worry about the focus of Norman wanting or being able to cope with the fight going the distance. I don't think you have to worry about that. At least for me, with how he's been built. Though he's an incredible knockout artist, I don't think going 12 is a concern for him because he is well conditioned. He can go 12. He can still be relatively fresh into the late stage of a fight, especially with how he's been able to go and continue to elevate his game. Again, Jensen Saki, the knockout came late into the fight. So it was looking like it might just go 12 because Sasaki's able to take all these punches. Yet still, we saw what happened. So even in rounds like what, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, he can still retain his power. So I think he'll be just fine. But let me see. Norman has a strong mentality. Yep, I believe so as well. If he gets through a fight with Puma, talking about with Bam, it could be dangerous. It could. But we're also talking about one of the best pressure fighters in the game. And Bam Rodriguez, not just because he can be relentless, but because at points in time, like it's hard to touch him even if he's coming forward. So I'm not gonna say that it's gonna be a fight. It's dangerous there, but because of who we're talking about, handling that danger is null and void. I'm more worried about how Puma's gonna handle feeling that level of power going up against Bam Rodriguez, because I think even Shakur. In fact, let me see if I can find the clip. Before we even continue real quick, let me see if I can find the clip real quick of Shakur Stevenson. Yeah, here we go. Let me give you a take from Shakur himself, because he sparred with Bam Rodriguez going into the Olympics as he's prepping for the Olympics a couple years back when Bam was even lower at the weight class. I'm gonna let you see what he has to say as we go quickly into the world of picture-in-picture. Let me see it real quick so we can actually let me switch to it so we can actually have it. There we go. Okay, here we go. Now let's go to the word of picture-in-picture. Let me show you what Shakur had to say in regards to Bam Rodriguez and his ability to crack if it'll play.
I actually sparred Bam a long time ago. He was little.
You sparred Bam?
Yeah, we sparred at the OTC. He was smaller than me.
What year is this? You can remember, like,
I want to say I was getting ready
2011,
for the Olympics.
2010?
I want to say I was getting ready for the Olympics.
Oh, okay.
I'm sparring him. I'm playing. I'm like, man, it's a little dude. I'm playing around.
Yeah.
Motherfucker caught me with like a good body shot. Boom. Like, damn. Like, how the hell this little dude punch harder than people like my weight?
He was dropping everybody with body shots in amateurs.
Yeah.
That's how he started getting his name out there.
So at that time, I was real close with him, but it kind of threw me off. I'm like, man, this dude strong for like a little kid and a smaller guy. But I always knew how special he was. I always knew what type of special talent he was.
So, like, mind you, yes, it's Shakur who's training for the Olympics. This is Shakur again, who's fighting at 135 and with smart people, upwards of 160 at one point in time, and being there with various people at points in times as he's getting his reps in. So for him to say, and mind you, it's Shakur, he's very upfront. He'll give respect where respect is due if you deserve respect. Him saying that Bam can crack like that at a younger age than that. But Bam's opponent better look out. He better look out. He better look out. Because if you may think he's going to be in a firefight, Bam is going to be the bigger puncher in this fight. I guarantee, not just because of reputation, because of actual power. Bam's going to be the bigger puncher. Bam's going to be the bigger, more dominant threat from the standpoint of damage output. I think so. And so I'm banking on it to be entertaining and fair, but I really do believe that we're going to see the likes of Bam get a KO. I think we're going to do it. I think we're going to see it. Let me see. If Norman nullify the jab of Haney, what does he do when his main weapon gets shut down? So here is a phenomenal question. Here's a phenomenal question. Let me see. But Bam has been put down, so he can't be careless against Puma. Puma can crack. Yeah, you're right. He has been. I'm not saying Bam needs to be reckless. I'm saying as the bigger danger, I am more concerned with his opponent than Bam as to who's going to get caught first. And who, if they do get caught, the show's going to end with. It's his opponent. That's me. That's why I'm saying I think I'm not as concerned. But going back to the question at hand, if Norman nullifies the jab, what does he? If Norman nullifies the jab of Haney, what does he do when his main weapon gets shut down? And the answer is nothing. The answer is nothing. The answer is nothing. We got to be real. When it comes, this is why I'm saying he's gonna fight scared, because his only course of successful action is going to be using that stick, not just to control, but to set up anything else that he would even want to do. Whether it's angles, whether it's counter shots, anything, don't matter. It's going to have to be off of that jab. And if we see that all of a sudden that jab of his gets nullified, especially if we are able to see Norman parry that jab into counter shots, like he did with Jensen Saki and like he has shown he can do in other fights as well. Because part of the thing with Norman, he's not just a brother who can stand and sit in the pocket with you. One of the biggest talents of his, he's able to parry punches and turn them into countering windows. So George Foreman used to do the same thing with his arm, parry shots. Whether it was with when he got older with the cross guard, Archie Moore did it as well, or with that long guard, parrying shots with his arms, keeping them out, and then when you try to punch, boom, short shots and uppercuts because you're already in reach. And it don't take much, at least for George Foreman, to gain some power and hurt you. Norman can do that, a similar thing. From the standpoint of it's a part of his style makeup. Or it can be a part of his style makeup. That is going to be something that can further take away that jab and nullify Haney's ability to want to throw, or rather his willingness to want to throw. And once that jab goes away, he can't throw the right hand just naked. He can't really go downstairs with punches without exposing himself. And after that, once the weapon goes away, there's nothing else you can do, especially not to hurt him. Again, with Ryan Garcia, part of the reason Ryan Garcia was able to do what he did against Devin Haney was because when Haney kept on trying to throw out that jab and Ryan Garcia was able to catch him with the hook, whether it was with a block, or a catch and shoot type situation, or straight up you trade with the jab, I'm trading with the hook and I'm getting the better of it, all of a sudden, he stopped throwing. Or if he did throw, he was throwing everything else that he could, but nothing else was working if it wasn't built off of that jab with him, because that's part of the biggest game plan stylistically. Against Lomachenko, yeah, he had other options because he was the bigger man. He had other options because he was the bigger man. Sorry, I got my phone ringing. My apologies. Also, my camera. Hold on, wait a minute. My camera is a little off. Hold on a second. Hold on a minute. Where is it? Hold on. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. We good? We good? Wait a second. Hold on a minute. I went to adjust. I just went. All I did was go to adjust the camera. Are we good? Okay. My gosh. I'm sorry. I went to adjust my camera real quick, and my thing done went away. Hold on a minute. Hold on a second. Let me clean y'all up. Let me clean y'all up real quick. I think my fingers might have touched the lid. There we go. Oh yeah. Okay. Well, I think. Oh wait. Hold on a minute. Hold on. I think. Okay. There we go. Okay. I think we're back. I think we're good. But nullifying the jab with Haney, to make a long story, nullifying the jab with Haney, you take away that, all of a sudden, that's the rest of his game plan. Then he's got to scrap. And the best way he can scrap is to dig downstairs with shots to the body. And against Lomachenko, that worked best because Lomachenko was a smaller guy. Mind you, he came into the fight potentially upwards to like 160. Up there, really, really up there. As we know with Haney, he can hydrate very much bigger than what he is. He ain't going to work against Norman. Just digging downstairs like that, especially if you're trying to go that like he did against Lomachenko. Norman got uppercuts that he can land. And got the reach of shoot. If he steps back a little bit and you miss, boom. That's straight right down the pipe. You eating. And it can be bad. It can be really bad. So I don't know what else he has if that jab goes away. Because there's nothing else to set up anything else. Feints ain't going to really work. Because Norman ain't going to be scared of feints. Because it's going to be, you going to have to throw something to show me I got to worry about something coming at me. Because right now, he doesn't think you got power. Nobody does. He doesn't think you got pop. Nobody does. He also doesn't think you're willing to throw in the first place. So, you got to prove him wrong. And if you don't, ain't gonna be anything. Let me see. I heard it was only $45 to watch on DAZN. Is that true? I am not sure. I am not sure. Now, with the whole thing with DAZN and that whole debacle that they've been having with the pay-per-view, you only got to pay one thing, but you still got to pay for other pay-per-views. You have to have a subscription to DAZN and then a separate subscription to the Ring Magazine inside of DAZN, something along those lines. It's crazy. It's got a lot of people up in arms. So I can't confirm that for myself. I would advise you to look that up to make sure you can actually find it. I would advise you to look it up to make sure you can actually get what you need to get. Because I don't want nothing coming back to me and saying that you told me wrong. Be sure. But find out for yourself. Because Lord knows, I ain't gonna be responsible for that, but let me see. Also, I'm watching the Ring Magazine, not Ring Magazine. I'm watching the Ring 4, the grand arrivals and stuff of everybody. It's been really, at least with the confidence factor for these people looking like. And Brian Norman right now is walking on stage, and the brother looks, he's keeping true to that thing of no designer stuff. He just looks ready to fight. Do-rag on, all brown, nothing fancy at all. Chewing gum, staring down cameras, looking mean and all get out. He does not care about anything except for the fight itself. My gosh. My goodness. Oh, Lord. It's going to be fun to see. Let me see. Norman uppercuts are nasty. Yes, they are. They really are. They're disgusting. They are disgusting. And especially if Devin Haney tries to clinch on the inside with Brian Norman. Those uppercuts, if Norman can get a hand free, can be lethal. And I do mean lethal. It can be a bad day. It can be a bad day for Norman. And that's another reason why I'm saying I don't know what else he can do to win. Because even if he goes back to the ways of Kambosos, clinching him up to Kingdom Come, guess what? That's going to only lead to him having the ability to get caught. That's all it's going to be. In the clinch, if you fight out of it, like we've seen with Devin Haney, like we've seen with like we've seen with David Benavidez, like we saw shoot over the weekend. It was either in the Catawba fight or in the with Conor Benn versus Eubanks. Fighting out of the clinch for somebody who's trying to clinch is one of the most open opportunities to land something big on somebody or to do some real damage. Not just the rabbit punches to the side of the chest. I'm talking about uppercuts, getting angles where they can't protect themselves because they're too close to your body. And then boom, you land with something they can't see. Or you escape and then you're able to land with something as they're trying to recover from being released from the clinch. Or rather, you slithering out. Those are the moments that really deter fighters from doing so. Those are, honestly, every time I've seen that happen, those have been somewhat of a game-changing type of sentiment. It's subtle, but it happens. Every time somebody's able to escape from a clinch and land a legitimate shot, all of a sudden that feels the momentum starting to shift a little bit. It's a telltale sign. And so, if Haney tries to clinch up against Norman, well, it's going to be problematic. It's going to be problematic. I really do think it's going to be problematic. But let me see what y'all got to say. Trying to make sure I catch everybody. Let me see. I said, Ben, what did you have? Yep, Teddy Buckshot. How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning into the show. Hey, you were right. You were right. He did it. He did do it. He got but he did it. Oh, boy. Box the Kingdom Come. Got 2 knockdowns and one almost every round of that fight. Y'all, I was wrong. Like I said, I got to give it up to y'all. Y'all called it. But it wasn't a miracle. It was an outright masterclass in this case scenario. It was no saving grace. This cat went and outboxed Eubanks to Kingdom Come. It was insane. But credit to you and credit to everybody who gets right. Y'all proved me wrong. Y'all shut me up. And let me see. Nobody might put him to sleep. Yeah, he might. Yeah, buddy. Yes, buddy. He might. And again, all goes back to this question: will Haney fight scared? The fear of being put down again. It is a bad thing. It's a horrible thing when the fear of getting put down stops you from being able to be what you need to be. It truly does. Let me see. I got Haney by the city up. Love King, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning into the show. Oh, also for the people that are new here, I almost forgot. For the people that are new here, I almost forgot. With y'all's help, we successfully got monetized. So we're officially official now. So hey, great. Big send money, send your chats, all that stuff. We good. The whole saga is now done. We probably gonna just, for the people that ain't been here, probably gonna just reiterate throughout the week and then we're gonna stop and just operate as normal. But for the people tuning in, y'all made it possible. We got monetized, so thank you all so much. We appreciate you for it. Absolutely. So pay me my money. Run me my dough. Doggone it. I'm kidding. We just joking. I'm not, but we just joking. We just having fun. We're going to keep on doing like we normally do. And hey, if you want to support now, we got 3 ways. Straight through Super Chats to YouTube or the stuff on the screen if you would like to help and support. And we appreciate all of this. But let me keep on reading what you all had to say. Norman by 4-round KO. A lot of people got Norman by 4. Now, I don't know if it's going to be early. I'm not going to say it's going to be early now. Haney is too good of a fighter for me to have it end early. I will say that. He's too skilled of a defensive fighter for me to have this tab it said he's going to be 4 rounds, the fight's done. Even if he gets knocked down in round 4. He's got enough heart. He's going to get up. Mind you, I thought Devin Haney looked like he was going to be out by round 6 against the likes of Ryan Garcia. But he still kept on getting up and popping up. The brother's got heart for days. I can't question that. I can question his fear of getting hit. I can't question his heart to get up consistently. I can't question his ability to go through and constantly have the wherewithal and the drive to never give up. I can't deny that. I can't. That's something I can't take away. But what I can say is you not wanting to be put in that position again. While you got the heart to get up, the fear of getting put down can be just as weighed down to hinder you from being able to be what you need to be. His fear is really the X factor in this fight. If we're going to do a breakdown on Thursday, like a full breakdown of this fight in particular and going through all the fights on the card. Yeah. But that fear is going to be the biggest that fear is going to be the biggest X factor. Are you able to fight out of fear if you're Devin Haney of getting embarrassed like you did against Ryan Garcia? Can you? Are you still dealing with the ghost of that past? I think he is. Nothing currently has showed me otherwise. The trainings look sharp, cool. The trainings look great, phenomenal. Is everything? The talk is still there. The bravado, fine. Your dad's still talking. All that stuff is well and good. But you, as a fighter, I don't know what I can trust with just the gym. Because in fight, especially with this type of threat, that is in all actuality, with all due respect to Ryan Garcia, this is a better fighter than Ryan Garcia. At least on paper, from a talent perspective. So I don't know what else you can do except for you're going to have to be able to face those types of inner struggles. Because if you don't, you're going to get put down worse. Because this is a better executioner in Brian Norman than the likes of Ryan Garcia. With all due respect to Ryan Garcia, Haney gonna drop. Haney. I think Haney got dropped early by Ryan Garcia. Is what you meant to say. But Garcia power not comparable to Norman. I mean, I'm not gonna. I mean, yeah. I'll say this. It's comparable. Because Ryan Garcia is a great knockout persona. I'm not saying he does have some good power. Even the likes of Tank gave some respect to Ryan Garcia for, okay, yeah, that buddy can hit. Him and Roll. He even said against Ryan, okay, yeah, I was a little bit worried about the power and speed of Ryan Garcia going into the fray. So I got to give respect where respect is due. The power is something that we have to respect. But it is the execution of how to make that power prevalent that Ryan Garcia doesn't have at the same way as Brian Norman. In both capacity and in all-around ability. The use of multiple different ways to put you down and to set you up for shots. That can put you down. Ryan Garcia doesn't have. He doesn't. That's just the truth. He just doesn't. Brian Norman's got that. So if Devin Haney is approaching this in the same way as if it's a rematch with Ryan Garcia, in terms of I just got to worry about the left hook and all that stuff, it ain't just going to be one shot that you got to worry about. It ain't just going to be a big sweeping shot like against Jinta Saka that you got to be concerned about. It's the right straight. It's the uppercut in the clinch or even at close range when he's trying to step in. It's the countering ability when you go to try to throw some of your shots. It's even his jab, because it's strong as well. And it is incredibly useful. It ain't just a tool just to set stuff up for punches. It can also be a tool to damage you straight up, outright. It can also be used as a trading weapon with you. It also can be used as a feint for something else. Next thing you know, you're in the ring and you're like, I didn't prep for this. When was this the Brian Norman that was ever in the ring? We hadn't seen that before. No, you had never experienced that before. But Haney has never experienced that before. But Norman has been that in his career. It's just the knockouts have been the thing that have overshadowed everything. And, excuse me, I said that wrong. Haney may not see that in videos or in film of Brian Norman fighting. But when he gets in the ring, he's going to experience, this is what it's really like to be in the ring with Brian Norman. It's a bad time. And you don't have the weapons as of right now to be able to mitigate that. Now, if you are able to box them and clean them out, okay, fine. If you're able to box them and beat them, you did it. You proved me wrong. Ain't nothing to say except, hey, buddy, you were right. This is the level that you think that we thought you were on, and that's great. But if you ain't right up here, you're going to be on the floor. If your mind ain't recovered, which I don't think it has, you're going to be on the floor. You're going to be on the floor. And we don't try to read into stuff outside, but even in the ring walks coming into this fight with, even in the early arrival stuff, with the likes of Devin Haney coming in, wearing headphones, trying to block out noise and all that stuff, that's all well and good. I respect it. But at the same time, Wilder was doing that same thing when he was trying to make his comeback as well. And mentally we saw, okay, yeah, this man ain't there. I'm not saying that's with everybody, but there's certain people that it's like you can see the outward actions pre-fight. shows something inwardly about what's going to happen in the fight. It's not always the case. It ain't always the case. But sometimes it is. Sometimes it is. Frank Martin, when he flinched at Gervonta Davis, showed what was going to happen in the fight. Or when Tank flinched at him, showed what was going to happen in the fight. Eubanks being calm, cool, and collected instead of being brash and so uppity. Not uppity, out there. Uppity is the wrong word. Very much energetic, overzealous. All of a sudden, this fight, calm, cool, and collected. Well, we saw what happened. It showed up in the fight. This is the type. These are the type of things that we have to look at and say, okay, that for some people, this does mean something. For others, it doesn't. In this case, it might. I really do think it will. But I still want to hear what you all have to say on the matter. If Norman puts you down, you might not get up. No, you might. Haney will most likely get up, but it's going to be if he puts you down, he's going to keep you down by the time the round is over. Because unlike Ryan Garcia, he won't get tired and have to take a breath, take a break once he has you hurt. You won't have to do that. He's better conditioned than that Ryan Garcia. And is more dangerous because of his actual talent as a fighter. Also, Bodega. Hey, brother. What's going on with you? How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning into the show. What's happening? You're here with us on today. Thank you so much for tuning in with your support and for what you got to say on the show. I can't wait to hear it. Absolutely. Norman has great feints as well. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. And they're only going to become more abundant once Haney feels the power. Because again, that fear is still going to be something that takes hold. And once you feel the damage, you're going to be biting at everything because now you don't want to get caught again, especially with somebody as defensive as Devin Haney. He was like that against Ramirez, and Ramirez wasn't remotely the threat that Norman is, or Ryan Garcia. And he was biting and backing up at every little thing that Ramirez was doing. Overly cautious. And now it's I tell you, it's gonna get him. It's gonna get him. It's gonna get him. That might open up Devin Haney deeper. Yeah, it might. Or even better, it might freeze him. The feints might freeze him. Because now you're feigning Haney into the ropes. You're herking and jerking, and nothing's coming back. But Haney's so tentative, he's gonna keep trying to escape. Next thing you know, he's gonna be back against the ropes. Rope burn is what's gonna happen. Because he's gonna be moving around so much, and it's gonna be to the point that now, when something does actually come and throw, he's so anticipatory that he shells up completely. And then at that point, you can open up because now he's got no offensive outlook, and he's cornered. He's only worried about not getting caught. That's when you can do some work. That's when you can do some work. Absolutely. Let me see. Haney not going to flinch. He most likely going to create space. Both were going to work the same way. If we don't flinch, he's going to back up. If he doesn't back up, he's going to shell up. If he doesn't shell up, he's going to try to throw a jab counter or something, or a short boom or right straight. One of those three options is going to happen. Either way, it's going to be a reaction. It's not going to be just defensive boxing. It's going to be, in my opinion, it's going to be out of fear. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. That's fine. But I'm telling you, everything with what I'm seeing and feeling with Devin Haney as a fighter, it doesn't look like he's going to box. I don't care what Bill Haney says. It doesn't look like he's going to box like he needs to box. There's going to be a point where he's going to try to get into survival mode. And if he stays in that mode, he's going to lose this fight most likely, in my opinion. And for how long can you keep space from 100? You got to bite back. Again, being defensive isn't wrong. Being scared is wrong. It's not the defensive aspect. It's the scared mentality while defensive. That's the problem. You can't be scared when you're going up against somebody, or somebody like this, especially as a defensive fighter, because if you are, you ain't going to be able to work. Floyd Mayweather was a defensive fighter. One of the greatest we've ever seen. Guess what he did to beat Shane Mosley when after Shane Mosley rocked him? He took the fight to him. He stood in the pocket with him and beat him in range. Landing legitimate stuff. Because he was fortified to adapt and do what he needed to do, to not be wary of what just caught him, but instead bite back against it by beating it straight on. Everybody can't do that, yes, but he did, and other people have. You have to do that. You have to, at some point in time. At some point. Even Shakur Stevenson against Zepeda, as offensive as he was, this man let Zepeda get to exactly where he would want Shakur to be, which is in the ropes and in the corner, and beat him at the very range that everybody was saying that Zepeda would dominate him in, or at least you don't want to be there. And we thought he was going to pick him apart. He instead went and beat him in his own domain. Head to head. You got to be willing to do that if you want to beat these types of people. And if for right now, when it comes to Haney, he can't. He doesn't. Because he doesn't have the mental ability to go there at this point in time. At least not at this point in time. All the IQs, the best IQ is great in the world, but if you can't hone it in when necessary, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be an issue. He's more methodical than Ryan for sure. Way better approach to tracking someone down. Norman's patience. Yep. It's a very good thing. Haney's key to winning, proving his durability and showing Norman and the world he's still a champion's mindset. And everything comes down to the championship mindset. It's not the heart. It's not the chin. We know what's going to happen if he gets caught. He's going to get rocked. We know he can't get put down. That's not our concern. Afterwards, or even in the midst of beforehand, can you fight as a champion with a champion's mindset? Can you fight with the confidence in yourself of what you can do against this type of style, like you've done in the past? Or are you at a point in time where where you're stuck in a moment in time that is Ryan Garcia? That's where you are, then you're not going to win. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. But if you can get out of that, we got ourselves a fight. But the question is, can you? That's the biggest thing. Can you? Can you? And we just don't know. But Norman's keys to victory is proven. He can outthink boxers and win the battle of who can dictate the distance and cornering Haney. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Everything about Brian, this fight is a twofold street. Everything about Brian Norman is predicated on execution. How he executes cutting off the ring, how he executes countering and trading with Devin Haney, and how he executes not getting frustrated against a style of Haney that's most likely going to be incredibly annoying to do damage and to knock him out. Or beat him for 12, whatever the case may be. That's Haney's or Norman's winning strategy is based mostly on execution. Haney's winning strategy is almost completely based on mentality. And if I got to deal with somebody mentally that needs to execute versus physically, I'm hoping that the physical issue is the biggest thing. Because if you ain't right up there, everything else falls out of whack. That's where we're concerned with Haney. That is exactly what we're concerned with Haney. That's why I really hope that Haney is locked back into that undisputed type of mindset and confidence and will, not just to get up, but to fight like you can fight. Because at 147 and on, anything less than what the best Devin Haney can be is susceptible to getting beat and clowned on and ridiculed, which is something that he does not like. It's something that he doesn't like. And again, Bodega, you said the best. The fight will be more mental rather than physical. as people assume. I'm thinking the same way. I'm thinking the same way. Norman has good IQ. He can set up the KO shot. Yeah, he can. And most likely it's going to be a flurry. It's going to be, I don't think it's going to be a one-hitter quitter. It's most likely going to be a systematic breakdown of the defenses and reactions of Norman, of Haney, that lead to him ultimately knocking him down multiple times and then getting the fight stopped. If it went that route, which is what I think is going to happen. And so Norman is strong mentally. Yep, Haney mentally is in question. Let me see, Von Greenhill, what you got to say on the day? I would like to see Conor Benn fight the winner between Brian or Devin if he goes back down to 147. Now, I wouldn't be mad at that. Hey, I wouldn't be mad at that. I would not be mad at that at all. I wouldn't be mad at that at all. I would not be mad at that at all. I wouldn't. Especially this version of Conor Benn. Now, depending on how Devin Haney looks, and with the speed that we just saw Conor Benn be able to show, who's always been fast, but now fast with pop at 160. All right. That could be that could be bad. That could be. I think a more entertaining fight would be Norman versus Benn at 147. I'll pay good money to see that fight. I'll pay good money to see that fight. I guarantee you. I guarantee you I would. I mean, that's why if Haney loses, then you know he's mentally done. Yeah. If Haney loses, it is going to be a very, and I do mean very, long road to get back up to. Not because this would be the first official loss of his career, but now you're dealing with the struggle. Just like I said with the likes of Tank. His first loss, he's done. This draw even shook him up. For a lot of people, the O is the biggest thing that is around their identity. Now, I'm not saying that is or isn't the case with Brian Norman or with Devin Haney. But what I am saying is that with what he just dealt with in what was a loss to Ryan Garcia, that got overturned off of that. If he gets done dirty this time, that ridicule and this ridicule coupled with now your record being blemished and people going to use that against him, boy, he's going to see a level of vitriol that he ain't faced before. Even though he says everybody wants me to be the villain, that's fine. If you think it's bad now and you're winning with people hating on you, but when you lose, it's going to be 10 times worse officially, especially if it's by a knockout. And I'm telling you all, this is why I was saying, everybody, way back I kept saying, I don't know if he's built to be the villain. Way back I was saying, I don't know if he's built to be a villain in boxing because he can't, I don't think he can take mentally what that entails in a fighter for what they're going to deal with in defeat, especially when it's somebody who is vilified. And mind you, we were giving him credit for being able to get up against Ryan Garcia all the times that he did, and still the amount of clowning was insane. Because again, the villain role he had accepted, and he was fighting in a manner. He was fighting in a manner that, well, rather, he was fighting with a identity that he pushed. Not the public, he pushed, of watch me because you hate me. Okay, fine. You can you really deal with that? We're going to find out. We're really going to find out. We're really going to find out. But let me see. Conor Benn would be most watched. Well, would he? Let me think. Would he be most watched weights? Brian Norman, Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, Crocker. Well, actually, hold on now. Hold on. Wait a minute now. The more I'm reading them off, though. At 147, yeah. I'm not gonna lie. Off of this performance, if he moved back down, Brian Norman, Crocker, Barrios, Rowley, Pacquiao, Stanlini, Polanco, Rocha. God. Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, he would most of the what Pacquiao now him versus Pacquiao that would be entertaining. I'm not gonna lie. Ben versus Pacquiao, explosive fighter against explosive fighter, that would be entertaining to see. I'm not gonna lie if we saw that. But most of the others, I wouldn't be surprised if he beat and or was able to compete with on a consistent basis. Yeah, I'm not gonna push that. I'm not gonna push that past him. Looking at the rankings, yeah, I'm not gonna push that past him. That he could do it. Let me see. Ben versus Norman would be a war. Yes, it would. It's hard to really gauge Ben's speed because a natural welterweight is always gonna have that over the naturally larger super middle majority of the time. Even at 147 or at the lower weight classes, he still was one of the quicker fighters in that division. I'm not gonna deny that. The issue was power. With the PEDs, he was punching at a way where when he got off of them, he wasn't punching the same. And so that's where the biggest concern is. But now, off of PEDs, being able to go and rock the likes of Eubanks and knock him down twice. Okay, he can sustain that level of power beyond with multiple weight classes, or at least above against multiple weight classes. So, like, we gotta give respect there. I don't think the speed's gonna be the biggest thing. I think that is indeed there. It is the power that we were concerned about at 147 because when he was on PEDs, looking like a knockout artist, then when he got off, all of a sudden the power went away. When he goes back down, if he can still sustain that level of power that he had against Eubanks, going in against Barrios or Pacquiao, Polanco, whoever he wants to fight, Crocker, others, okay, then yeah, we got our answer. But for me, I don't think speed's gonna be the biggest of concern. Let me see. And was winning a fair amount of rounds after being dropped. Yes, he was. Let me see. Most under the top 10, yes, but 6 of the top 10 will give him some trouble. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Ben is agile, not fast. Would explosive be the right word? Maybe his hand speed isn't fast. Well, no. I take it back. No. I take it back. No, he is fast. I take that back. He is fast. His best attribute is explosiveness. He had that throughout his entire career. The ability to immediately close the gap and up. Okay, he's punching. Oh, shoot. He's punching now. Oh, my gosh. The explosiveness of, okay, boom, he's here. That's his best weapon. Hand speed, raw hand speed. He has also got some of the faster hands at, or at least when he was at welterweight. Or when he was at like 147 or before he went to 160. It was there. It was, I'm not gonna lie, it was there. I'll even be the first to raise my hand. Yeah, no, it was there. He is fast. But his best attribute is his explosiveness to get to his opponent and close the distance. Coupled with the great hand speed that he does have. Yeah. He can give a lot of people a lot of trouble. He absolutely can. He absolutely can. But before we go into that, we need to also make sure that we cover the other stuff in this show. Because we also have, where is it at? We also have to cover the likes of the rest of the card, like with Benavidez and Yard. Because again, this is fight week, is it not? We're gonna talk about Brian Norman and Haney till the cows come. I guarantee you we will. But it's also fight week, and we also got to at least talk about the main event of Benavidez versus Yard as the weeks continue to the days continue to wind down in the build up to this fight. Because I'm telling you right now, that fight is going to be a world of I want to say hurt, but it's going to be a world of trouble for the likes of of Anthony Yard. And the biggest thing, the question becomes, more importantly, with all the stuff against Anthony Yard, for the sense of, okay, I think Yard's going to lose. I think Devin Haney's going to win by unanimous decision. Not Devin Haney. with all the talk of Benavidez versus Yard, as we're switching gears, with me thinking Benavidez is going to win by unanimous decision. I don't think he's going to knock him out, but he's going to beat up on Anthony Yard. I truly do believe that. Even with that being the case, the one thing that we have been saying that is a concern of the very few things in regards to this entire boxing saga of Ring 4 with Benavidez and his tenure at light heavyweight has been that he's been rocked when he has been touched. When he has gotten caught, though it's few and far between, he's been hurt. He got buzzed a little bit against Kovacic when he went and beat. Now, great performance. Still, he got buzzed and caught a couple times, and it was affecting him. David Morrell speaks for itself. When he got caught against David Morrell, he got rocked, stunned, nearly dropped. His knees buckled twice in that fight. One was during a counter shot. The other one was after the bell. But regards to which, still, it affected him severely. And now he's going up against what could be argued as the third best raw puncher in the whole division in the likes of Anthony Yard. And so if he gets touched this time, hey, is there a situation where we can see Yard knock him out clean? I'm dead serious. Is there a situation that we can see Yard knock him out like straight up clean? I mean straight up clean, because this is a situation where we know, or at least I know, I won't say we, I know, or I feel, when we're looking at Yard again, and I've said this multiple times, there's been a lack of improvement in his ability as a fighter. But the one thing that has never gone away is his punching ability. The one thing that's never gone away is his ability to crack. And offensively, yes, if he does have you in trouble, he will go through and finish the job. And he's got the pop to gain even the respect of Artur Beterbiev, who, mind you, is a walking tank. Who the butter goes through, and you can't affect that butter for nothing. The fact that Bevo beat him at range, where he thrives in, when Yard couldn't even do it, with him having better power than Bevo, was insane. It was insane. And so, but Yard being able to do what he did when he's been at that high level and with a understood, not just respected, but elite level of power. I know there is some real concern that if Benavidez gets touched, even slightly, by the likes of Yard, we're dealing with a different level of legitimate pop now. I can't lie. Better than David Morrell. Better than Kovacic. Shoot, better than almost the entirety of the light heavyweight division. And though it's not the only thing that can make Yard win, I get that. And it's not the only defining factor that up can be too much for Benavidez to overcome, because it's something that he can. Be prepared, because there's a real potential situation that if Benavidez gets caught against him that time, or gets caught against this specific opponent, that power that Yard carries might be something that puts him in legit, not just stunned, okay, I'm recovering quick type nature. I'm talking it could do something bad. It could really do something bad. I'm telling you. I guarantee you. I guarantee you. And I don't want that to happen. I'm gonna be real. I don't want that to happen. Not because I'm trying to. Well, I am playing favorites because I love Benavidez. I really do. But I need Benavidez to win because I want him to go, not just to get undisputed, but again to have the power and leverage to finally get that Canelo fight. That's my biggest thing. That's my biggest thing. But again, I want to hear from you all because I want to see what you all have to say on the matter as well. In regards to, hold on, let me recenter this real quick so we can make sure. Hold on. There we go. Okay, just had to make sure it was centered, or at least as centered as possible. Now let me see what you all had to say on the matter for that fight going into it. If he is being able to dart laterally and pivot, decent athleticism, but no, just talking about going back on the Conor Benn conversation. Benavidez might get upset. Yeah, he might. I'm not saying it's likely. I'm just saying it's there. It's legitimately there. Spamming wild overhands does not equate to decent hands. Oh, talk about with Conor Benn. Again, I believe he does have good hand speed. I really do. If we're going back to the Conor Benn conversation, I really do believe he's got good hands. I really. Now, if you don't, hey, that's perfectly fine. I respect the opinion. He has been wild. He has been reckless. He has been very much, going for broke a lot of times earlier in his career, especially on his initial rise. But he could also get away with that because he was so fast. You can say look fast all you want to, but big swinging overhands, if you ain't got the hand speed and you're that reckless, normally you get popped and countered. He was able to get away with it, and people couldn't deal with it because he was indeed coming in such a abundance of not just volume, but also legitimate, like it's right there on you. It was so concussive at such a quick rate. Yeah, it was hard to deal with. It was. Now, hopefully he ain't fighting like that no more. Thankfully he hasn't, because this looks like a better fighter. Now, what he did against Eubanks Jr. So hopefully he keeps on staying like this. But I do believe, he does have good, to me, I think he does. Yard will go out like, wow, okay, dang. All right, well.
We got some problems here.
Shoot. My gosh. Dude. The only reason why I say no is because the only reason why I say no to this, to this comment, is because of the fact that I truly see that Benavidez does not have the pop that he had at 160 anymore. From the standpoint of because of the durability of opponents at 175 and above. Even if I'm not saying he's diminished in power as he's gaining weight, but the same level of power for Benavidez is still there. But that against most people at 175, even with the volume that he's had, isn't putting people out or doing the same bludgeoning outright. Oh, the face is broken, all that stuff going through. It ain't doing that. So I don't believe that he's gonna knock him out in the 7th. Now I'm gonna say if he does knock out Yard in 2 rounds, if he knocks out Yard in 2 rounds, he's beating, I will say definitively, he's beating both Beterbiev and Bivol without issue. If he does that, I will get up and I'll say loudly, none of them beat Benavidez. I'll get out blatantly. You will hear me start off the show by saying Benavidez beats both Anthony, David, you'll hear me start the show saying Benavidez beats both Dimitri Bivol and Archie Beterbiev with ease. If he goes and he knocks out Anthony Yard, if he does that, especially if he does it quick, I'll say that quick and in a hurry. You won't hear a peep out of me going against Benavidez when it comes to both of those matchups and becoming undisputed. I will say there's nobody at light heavyweight that beats him. If he does that, because that's been the biggest detraction of Benavidez, the lack of carrying power like he had at 168. Everything else about him is better, except for the pop that stayed the same. And against this level of durability, it doesn't work the same way. But he's able to perform like he can perform, which is incredible. He's a better fighter now than he was at 168, like I've said multiple times. But if he does beat Yard that quick, Bivol and Beterbiev, they ain't got a shot. They don't have a shot. Because now you got the power to equate up to them, to damage them. And he cleans them out. He cleans them out. He cleans both of them out if he does it. That would be ridiculous if he did that. Oh my gosh. That would be insane. That would be insane. And you saying, especially in the pocket, out on his feet. If he put him out on his feet like that, Anthony Yard, when Beterbiev it took him almost 11 rounds to do it. He does it in 5 or 11. Oh gosh, yeah, that'd be insane. That would be insane. That would be absolutely ridiculous. I'm trying to make sure we get back. Yard is not chinny. He's not chinny. I'm not saying Yard is chinny. I'm not. Like I said, I believe his only loss was against the likes of Kovalev, and then again Artur Beterbiev. But like, he hasn't lost against people that unless it's like the real, like the baddest of bad. Legitimately, it's like that. Can't say nothing against that. But at the same time, if he does do this, especially against somebody who has been toe-to-toe with some of the best out there, brother, you can't say nothing except for my gosh. Ridiculous. You can't. You can't. Let me see. Oh, shoot. OG Blaze. Hey, brother. What's going on with you? How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning into the show with us on today. I appreciate all of your support, and I'm glad you're here. Like I said, because of you, we got monetized now, so super chats and all that stuff. It's good to go, so we can actually work like a full-on monetized down. But we appreciate it, but it's all thanks to you and your support, and all of you all coming through on the days, every single week, tuning in. We appreciate it so much. But I still want to hear what you all got to say on the matter. I'm not saying he beats him with ease. Oh, excuse me. I'm saying if he beats Anthony Yard like Ortiz beat Lubin, then I will say that he beats Beterbiev and Bivol with ease. Because now he's got the power up to the level of some of the elites of the division, which was better than what we've been saying about him power standpoint-wise throughout the entirety of his run at 175, which has been the only bad detraction of Benavidez throughout this whole stint. But as a fighter, he's gone completely better. So, this amping up an ability of, okay, you can crack, along with everything else. Yeah. I can't say nothing except for, hey, man, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard pressed for me to say that you ain't going to be able to beat both of them. It's going to be hard pressed for me to say that you don't beat both of them. With that also in his arsenal, that would be insane. That would be insane. Let me see. He was not. I'm trying to make sure I catch everybody. Yeah, but David doesn't hit harder. He does. I'm not. Again, it is not saying that he does. I'm saying if he's able to hit hard and put out your. I'm not. I said if. This is an if. If, mind you, I believe it was Bodega that said he puts Yard out the same way as Ortiz did with Lyndon or Lubin, excuse me. If you do that, okay, I got to look at you in a different light now because of who Anthony Yard is as a fighter and what he has shown he can do at the highest of high levels. That is something. And again, I don't think he's chinny. Like like I said, the two are some of the biggest punchers of a generation are the guys that have put him in trouble and or knocked him out or knocked him down. After that, it ain't many. He said this bitch ain't many. So like that would be for me. That would be impressive. That would be impressive for me. And so, what I'm saying, trying to make sure I get other people in the chat. It's knocked out by 2 hard hitters. Yeah, Beterbiev and Kovalev. Yeah, exactly. That's it. Those two have been. They speak for themselves from the standpoint of ability, let alone pop. So this is why I've said Yard is the toughest task for Benavidez to date. And depending on his performance here, is going to be a big inclination of what his ability is going to be against the likes of both Bivol and Beterbiev. Especially with, again, the likes of Beterbiev. Especially with the likes of Bivol coming off a back surgery. Hey, already we're assuming that will take or at least some semblance of the best version of Bivol away. Because again, back surgery, even to fix something, it affects people. Ball players, NFL players, boxers, don't matter who, don't matter what creed. It affects you. Anything dealing with your back, especially with somebody with the Soviet style that bounces as much as he does, yeah, it's going to take an effect. So especially if that takes hold and actually diminishes his skills in the way that we think. Hypothetically, this world could potentially be David Benavidez's oyster. It could. It really could. It really could. It really could. And so it'll be very interesting to see. Benavidez, with his volume and yards, lack of stamina, he's going out in 6. Like David's last name. Like David's last name was Jordan. Yeah, and I completely forgot. You brought up a great point. You brought up a great point. About this fight with Yard. You brought up a phenomenal point, Bodega. A phenomenal point. You brought up the stamina. I completely went away from the stamina aspect of Anthony Yard. Once fights gets to around 9 to 12, in those later stages of the rounds. There have been points in time with Anthony Yard where he's lost steam that didn't even come into my mind. But it's true. With the stamina merchant, in a good way, that we've seen from the likes of David Benavidez. Throughout his entire career, he's been able to go through and really, in the later stages, still almost up or at least keep his same level of ability and high output without getting winded. Looking nearly as fresh as he looked in rounds 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Anthony Yard, he'll, especially if it's in a war, we'll see that brother start going down. We'll see that brother start gasping and heaving. Part of it is because, again, the physique that he's got is incredibly built. It's incredibly great. And he has been able to retain athleticism, even with being that much of a brick house in the ring. But that does equate to, you still have seen stamina issues take place when it comes to the likes of Anthony Yard. And with the amount of pace he's going to have to keep up with Benavidez right in front of him, like just 1 or 2 big shots to win rounds ain't going to be enough. You're going to be working. You're going to be working. You're going to be dealing with shot to the head, shot to the body. You're going to be in 1, 2, 3 punch combinations every couple of seconds from David Benavidez. Breaking the rhythm, throwing a jab, throwing another jab, walking you down. Again, going through, leaning up, going another shot to the body. Then another one. Boom, boom. And then he keeps on stalking and walking. All of this while you're going backwards. Because you can't get no forward momentum. And you constantly getting peppered with shots, with jabs, with just action. You're dealing with action on a constant basis when it comes to David Benavidez. And that is something that at a pace, especially with him being able to be as defensive as he is, from the standpoint of Benavidez being great defensively and offensively, it speaks for itself. You can't touch him. If you do touch him, he can't recover. And he'll respond back with shots that you can't respond against. And then he'll keep that same pressure for the entirety of the round. All of a sudden, you thought you had the upper hand. Next thing you know, oh my gosh, I'm getting touched up. I got to chill up. It's another David Morrell. It's another David Lemieux. It's another Caleb Plant. I'm in trouble. And I can't fight my way out of it. That is what we can see. Big in part because of, again, the stamina issues that Yard can have, especially against high volume going late into fights. Going late into fights. Yeah. It can get scary. It can get very scary. It can get very scary. I am telling you. Absolutely. But let me keep on reading what you all have to say on the matter. But Yard is improving his cardio for this fight. I don't think it's going to be enough. It's not about the improvement. It's about where you're starting from. Where you're starting from for Yard to trying to get better versus what you're going to be against. Because this has been an issue for so long, even you trying to deal with it now, it might be too little too late. Because even with whatever capacity you may have garnered better for this fight, it still won't be enough. If it takes you to round 10, and before you start getting tired, I'll be impressed, but that ain't gonna be enough. That ain't gonna be enough. And again, as we talked about before, the improvement with yard has been very much questionable throughout his career. Stamina is the same thing as well. Now that you're dealing with these types of issues too late now. If you had dealt with your stamina earlier in your career, a couple of fights ago, started this journey, okay, I'm trying to improve, would have been something different. But David Benavidez himself in the first fight at 175, what happened? We saw him get tired against Kavasti. With the added weight, trying to sustain the same level of offense. But then the next fight that he had with Morrell, no trouble, none whatsoever. He immediately, after that first fight, went and tried to tackle the issue. Yard, he's had that issue for a number of years, and he never worked on it up until now. While Benavidez has, again, elevated even more. He's got an even better gas tank now, with everything else that's also already improved. Yard may have started this improvement too late. And if what's coming out of his camp is true, I don't even know if he's actually going to work on that type of stuff. Because, again, I don't know. With training, with Yard, it's a little bit up in the air. Because if there was any fight I was going to be, I would have been able to see a real potential improvement to show some real stuff, was going to be the Lyndon Arthur fight. To really put some impressive nature on me of what you are turning into as a fighter. Now that you're getting back into the championship picture. But it didn't impress me for good reason, because it didn't show me anything different about Yard. In fact, I was underwhelmed. I'm not going to lie. So I think he waited too late. It's going to bite him. I really think it's going to bite him. I really think, and you're right. Benavidez better be careful. He will. He was careful against Morrell. Defensively, he's become one of the best defensive fighters in light heavyweight, along with being one of the best offensive fighters. He has improved his defense to have amalgamations of combinations. Cross guard. Cross guard. He's done a Philly shell 8 times or 2. High guard, head movement, distance management. All of that stuff has helped him immensely with his ability to go through and evolve as a fighter and combining offense and defense even better. Somehow he's gotten even more precise with his shot selection and been even more perceptive of the offense coming at him. But it's almost a seamless transition. It's so impressive because he's just been that good. He's been that good. And so he's a different animal. He is a different animal. He's a different animal. And don't forget Morrell. Put him down. Don't forget Morrell. Put him down in the later rounds. If Yard puts Benavidez down, absolutely it could be trouble. I'm not going to fight against that, because he is a great finisher. Again, 20-something fights, nearly as many wins as knockouts in his career. But it is, the small stuff in boxing, like I've talked about before, are the biggest things that have equated to success or failure when it comes to you being able to fight at the elite level. Small stuff is what makes great people all-time greats, and what can turn a good fighter into a great fighter. Small stuff in boxing is what has garnered not just success, but legitimate, consistent work at the highest of highs in this game. Small stuff is what elevates you. Anthony Yard, from what I've seen over the course of these last 3 fights, since Beterbiev, hasn't trained the small stuff like I need to see him do. And I think that's going to be the biggest difference maker. And so that's why I'm concerned. And like I said, David could get in trouble when trading with Yard. Yeah, he could. And you forget he could also keep him at distance. He could also keep it. Don't forget, Benavidez has a phenomenal jab as well. He's got a great jab as well. He can also punch at range and keep you at bay and still pepper you with shots and get out. He can. We've seen him throw combinations and then change angles. Exit out and reset and turn you to the ropes and then boom, keep you at bay while still peppering you with shots that ramrod of a jab. Even off the back foot, boom, still reaching you. Boom, still reaching you. And then you try to throw, planting his feet, leaning back, using his height to get out the way, being safe, moving around the ring a little bit, changing his angle of attack, and then boom, attacking. And I guarantee you, the same way we saw the likes of Davis at 168, Lemieux, Plant, Morrell, Gvozdyk, everybody, Bubu Andre, the same way all of them were forced to have to stop and stand when they were trying to fight David Benavidez. It's the same way we're going to see Anthony Yarde. I truly believe that. It's the same way we're going to see Anthony Yarde. The same way we're going to see Anthony Yarde. It's going to be just like that. He's going to be forced to have to shell up. He's going to be stuck. He's going to be here. Probably by round 6. We're going to see it start. Him up. He can't deal with all of that volume, and he's going to have to shell up. He'll throw a counter shot, sure. Similar to what happened with the likes of Morrell. I wouldn't be surprised if he takes a page out of Morrell's book and intentionally shells up to try to land a counter on David Benavidez. I would not be surprised if he willingly goes to the ropes at times. Lets Benavidez get some work off and they try to land with a short right of his own, just like David Morrell, to catch and hurt Benavidez. I would not be surprised in the slightest. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. But I also know with how Benavidez has been moving throughout his career, he won't get caught with the same stuff twice. He won't. Within the round, he won't. Remember, he got caught with the right again. They busted him, but it was after the bell. In that round, before the bell, he didn't get touched with none of that stuff. So, like, I'm telling you, Yarde better be ready. Yarde had better be ready. It is going to be a time and a half for that brother to deal with. I promise you. I promise you. It's Benavidez does overextend. He could get counted. Yeah, he could. He could. I'm not denying that. I'm not denying it. But he's so defensively advanced now at this stage that even with him making mistakes, he understands what to do to adjust to still stay safe. Whether it's moving head slots, whether it's backing up, whether it's immediately after a shot going through and shelling. Again, let's say he throws a 3-punch, a jab, hook combination. He'll flow that hook into a high guard and duck down as he's trying to already anticipate a punch coming. And then go back into the fray. I've seen him use that high guard, parry stuff out as he's inching his way forward, throwing the jab, and then with that long range, boom. Catch him to the body. Even if it's a block, guess what? You got to react to it. And then he's able to still stay safe. And so I am very confident. Very confident that he's gonna be. I think he's gonna be just fine. I think he's gonna win. Again, I don't think it's gonna be by knockout. But I think it's gonna be. I believe it's gonna be by unanimous decision. I believe it's gonna be by unanimous decision. I truly believe that. And it's gonna be fun to watch. It's gonna be so fun to watch. But real quick, we need to go into the other stuff in the boxing world, in sports world as a whole. And we also got to give time for y'all to say what y'all want to say. So with all that being said, we're going to jump into the championship round. Hey, let's get it on. Let's get it popping. And let's get it started right here with the championship rounds of this show going underway right now. 30 minutes to an hour. Let you all have your voice be seen and heard for the masses to enjoy. Absolutely. We also need to cover while we're in this segment, while you're getting the questions together, breaking news in the world of Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul. If you have not heard, that fight is official per the words of Netflix themselves. Forget rumor. It wasn't officially. My commentary reported on it, but now it's officially done and it's happening. Like legit. Hey, this is Netflix's official poster. My goodness, Lord no, oh buddy, there we got a month. We got, officially today. We got a month to have not Benavidez, AJ versus Jake Paul. He's got a month to get ready, to get up to at least 220, to fight against one of the baddest heavyweights in this era today. In a fight that, hey, you can respect them for taking it, but when we say we want him to fight somebody at his level, this also ain't what we meant. This is way above your level. But this is what you said you were at. And you said he's stiff and you can knock him out. Okay, fine. Prove it. And you're going to see why you don't belong in this sport from the standpoint of a boxing perspective. But my goodness, it's going to be bad. It's going to, I'll say what I was going to say afterwards. But this is going to be bad. This is going to be very much a bad instance. No, okay, yeah, another browser, open it up. Y'all better watch out. Y'all better be careful. It's gonna be insane. It's gonna be a bad watch from the standpoint of for Jake Paul. We'll talk about that fight. And again, I'll read y'all chats. We'll get your answers. Then I'll delve into a little bit more of my response because we talked about it last week. Let me reevaluate some stuff about this fight this week once I had a chance to when I talk about it on today. So let me keep on reading. Yo, Dale Anderson, what's going on with you? Hey, how you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning into the show. If you didn't know, we're officially monetized now. Hey, yes sir. All with you all in your support. Because we try to figure out, let people know. It's the first stream. We're officially monetized now, so hey, we can make that butter, that cheddar, that Gouda, all with you. You now. And it's all thanks to y'all that we can make this possible. So we appreciate it so much. Let me read what you got to say. Let me see. Hey, Sean, will you be watching the fight against AJ versus Jake Paul? I will. Now, also, full disclaimer. With that fight, might have some stuff in the works. So the aim is to stream it. Aim is to do it live. But at the same time, if something goes right, we may have some alternative plans. Who may be, but regardless of which, nothing else happens, yeah, we plan on streaming that fight, almost assuredly. Because that's going to be an event everybody's going to want to see. I don't care if you don't like the brother. Everybody's going to want to see that fight. Because again, pay to see him lose, watch to see him lose. This is now like people are actually invested in this fight because this is okay. Jake Paul's behind the 8 ball. There's no advantage for Jake Paul in this situation. Even with, and I'll even say this. I will even say this. And I'll put it up right here. The official rules for the fight go as follows. It's a sanctioned professional fight. It's going to count for both of the records. It is going to be under Quisenberry rules. It's going to be 8 rounds, 3 minutes, 10-ounce gloves. Legit 10-ounce gloves. And Anthony Joshua cannot come into the fight above 245 pounds. Now, that sounds horrible. That sounds terrible. That sounds, again, when I read that, I was ridiculous. And if you don't believe me, I'll pull it up right now. Because it's from the Ring Magazine themselves. Here, come take a look if you want to see. It's from the Ring Magazine themselves of what they said. Sanctioned fight, 8 rounds, 3 minutes. It should be a 10-round fight. It should be a 10-round fight, 3 minutes. Not no 8, because this is still, it ain't a championship fight, but it's still a full-blown professional, legit fight as a main event. Should be 10 rounds. Because at this level, anything except for a championship is a 10-round affair. That's what it is. Christian and Billy versus Martinez with 10 rounds. Or unless it was for the interim title. Then it was for 12. But you get what I'm saying. Regardless of which, everything else except for the weight, I'm okay with. Even though it should be 10 rounds. But the weight especially, when I read it, was another thing that I thought, dang it, this cat still got one over in these negotiations and made it so that a heavyweight fight has a catch weight limit. How in the world does that work? How does that work? How? That's all. How does that work? A heavyweight fight has a weight limit. When it's supposed to be heavyweights, anything 200 and above, you run it. Fury was able to be 290 versus Usyk, who was 240, maybe even 223, 220 something. Been around that weight for the entirety of the time, yet he didn't do no catch weight. If you think he's that great and you want to be great, if you Jake Paul, guess what, brother? You're a full-fledged heavyweight. You should be fighting as a full-fledged heavyweight under the same restrictions. I was hot when I read that. But even with that being the case, this isn't something new for Anthony Joshua. Because he has come in under 245 before. He came in under 245 against Usyk, I believe, both times. If not at least the second time. He came into it both times. And against Andy Ruiz, he came in at 237. So he can make that weight under 240 pretty easy. Because he's done it multiple times in instances where he was trying to retool and regroup. And in both or all three instances, against the Usyk fights, though he lost, and against the rematch with Andy Ruiz, still, the Usyk fights were some of the best fights that we've seen AJ have, especially that second fight, when he almost had him put down and legitimately put up a better display than even the first fight with Usyk. And Andy Ruiz versus AJ, he was able to keep the distance, jab Andy Ruiz to Kingdom Come, looked leaner, looked quicker, and fought quicker. And still had power, don't get me wrong, but fought like a taller fighter more exclusively than just a boxer puncher. And it worked out from the standpoint of those individual performances. So this might actually, from the standpoint of dealing with Jake Paul, yeah, be quick. Because then you can catch him like nothing. If you thought that punch with Francis Ngannou, that he knocked him out with came quick, and you thought those counters he hit Ngannou with came quick, he take this fight legitimately because he's still trying to become back into the title picture. Brother, Jake Paul's never going to have seen speed like this before. I kid you not. Jake Paul will have never seen speed like this before in his career. I am not exaggerating. Jake Paul will have never dealt with speed. We're talking from heavyweight. Jake Paul will have never dealt with hand speed or any sort of speed like what Anthony Joshua will be like in the ring. Forget the power. We know the power. AJ under 240 is still a powerful AJ. I got that wrong. I think AJ fought, I saw a stat, I think he's fought under 240 19 times throughout his entire professional and amateur career. So, Jake Paul, forget the power, has never dealt with this level of speed before. And I'm telling you, he's going to get put to sleep. It's going to be bad, man. It's going to be so bad. It's going to be so bad. It's going to be horrible. It's going to be terrible. And I love it. Hey, I love it. I'm going to be the person. I love it. Absolutely. I love it. Because you want to talk this talk, okay, walk it. If you beat him, you get all the respect in the world from me. There's nothing I can say. But what I'm not going to do is be the person that over-exaggerates, oh, we ought to respect Jake Paul for taking this type of fight. And have that be a clouding sentiment over what the reality of this situation is. He is going to get destroyed. Some people had a problem with me saying he's going to die. I'm not saying he's going to die in the ring. I don't want that to happen, be clear. When I say he's going to die, I'm using that as a very exaggerated sentiment of he's going to get beat and beat bad. Now, health concerns are indeed a major concern for this fight. Mind you, if he did what he did to Francis Ngannou, who showed he could compete at a championship level when he took on even the worst version of Tyson Fury to 12 rounds. Even like He did that to an Ngannou that actually proved himself in some capacity at the highest of highs in the boxing world from when he was inexperienced. He knocked him down and arguably beat Tyson Fury. Even if it's a bad version of Tyson Fury, it's Tyson Fury. He at least had that under his belt. And AG did that to him. But you ain't the best person you fought as a fighter from experience. Potentially is Tommy Fury. And he beat you. That's horrible. That is terrible. He's going to get destroyed in a bad way. In a very bad way. I saw Espinosa versus Kagi. I saw the Espinosa fight, and Kagi was laying a lot of shots on Espinosa. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. And let me tell you something. That fight has given me some inkling that we talk about with looking down the line with Inoue, laying on Espinosa. We might have a window for what we can, with all the threats that we still know Espinosa is this fighter with Inoue and the rest of the division that won 26. Hey, this fight showed me some stuff that, hey, Espinosa might be more touchable than I expected and more manageable to be dealt with by the likes of not just the rest of 126, but from Inoue and others coming up to the division. It's going to be insane. He gets too predictable with his punches. That's another thing. You ain't wrong. That's another thing. The flow and the rhythm and what he's going to throw has become a little bit, you can tell what's coming. Now, it's still hard to stop. Be clear. It's still hard to stop. But being, I don't want to say rooted so much in such a way is a bad thing. It against who we're talking about. Yeah, it can't but just be a problem. Like I said, against the, you beat me to it. Against the elites, he could end up in trouble. Yeah, he could. He absolutely could. He's still Espinosa. Be clear. He still is a bad brother. But yeah, he could get put in some trouble. Yes, he could. Listen, I don't like Jake, but that doesn't mean I want to see him die. You're right. Again, die. I use that as a very much exaggerated form. I've said that for other fights as well. Oh, he's going to die. He's going to get beat. He's going to get destroyed. I don't actually want to see him killed. Be clear. But I do recognize also that there is a potential severe threat, this big of a step against this cat and Anthony Joshua. That, man, even most of the time was saying, hey, brother, you fire your advisors who said you need to take this fight. Because this is not what you think it is. Millions of dollars or your health. 100 million or being able to remember your name. Which one do you want? Is that type of thing. And we know one punch can change the trajectory of somebody's career forever. In a bad way. Especially if you don't belong in a certain level. It can be a problem. Will Jake Paul put on a Gildan or for the talking about oh boy. He gonna put that boy. A lot of people are saying, yeah. A lot of people are saying this is about to be bad. It's about to be really bad for Jake Paul. Man, I get it. I completely get it. I hope this doesn't take away from Noy Inoue's fight. I don't. It shouldn't. I don't think it will. I don't think it can. Inoue still Inoue. This will only. It's going to be big news, yes, but it's also going to be a situation where, like, once it passes, it passes. And in a way, if he beats Picasso, not only is the card itself great and people are going to tune in objectively because of that, but also it's going to be that they are going to get excited because Nakatani, if they both win, Nakatani and Inoue, but that fight's next. That's literally one of the biggest fights of the year. I don't think it will take away the spectacle. Well, yeah, it's still Jake Paul. With all respect, or with all the disrespect we've had about him, we can't deny he is one of the biggest names in the sport. Yeah, it's gonna be there. It's gonna be. That's unavoidable. But subsequently afterwards, yeah, ain't gonna be bigger. Because it's gonna be, once this is done, the ride's over. People are literally just wanting to see Jake Paul get knocked out and then it's over. After Anthony Joshua, yeah, this whole run's going to be finished. There's nothing else for him to do. Because there's nothing else he can do. Because he can't go any higher unless he wins. And if he does win, well, guess what? Now you got to fight Usyk. Or now you got to fight Fabio Ward. Or now you got to fight Moses Alamo. Or now you got to fight Joseph Parker. Or now you got to fight Big Bang Jang. Or now you got to fight Ajit Kabayel. Or now you got to fight any of the heavyweights, Daniel Dubois. That's it. The only actual way for Jake Paul to keep this same Netflix level money and consistency going is to go and fight against the actual top 10 contenders in the boxing world, with AJ being one of them. So guess what? He'll never do it. He'll never do it. Unless he beats, and well, actually I can't even say that because I said he wouldn't ever face off against AJ. But he's fighting against AJ, so he might, but that's the only level he can go to. And he can't go back down. Excuse me, he can't go back down. He cannot go back down ever after this. Ever. He can never go back down after this. Let me see. That's, I think you say that's, I can see. That's why I can see. Anyway, making it look easy. Maybe I'm crazy. You're not crazy. You're not. What you saw against Espinoza ain't a lie of the potential holes that anyway can take advantage of. Be clear. You ain't seen nothing wrong. That's why I'm so excited for the Espinoza fight now, because now all of a sudden the road to undisputed at 126 may not be as difficult as I may have thought. Not because the talent ain't up there, but because what they're bringing to the table in terms of Espinoza, the biggest threat, might actually be manageable for anyone. With how great anyway is, yes, we can say there's something there that anyway can take advantage of to go and potentially dominate that fight. You have seen nothing wrong. It's legit. It's 10 ounce gloves. Yeah. See. It's 10 ounce gloves. It's 10 ounce gloves. And put it to bed right now. There's not going to be no situations of we're going to go in and have you not get paid off to knock him out. AJ has made more money than Jake Paul. AJ has been the face or one of the faces of boxing, especially at his peak, for what was over a decade. He's carried the heavyweight division on his back. He's been the face of the UK when he was on top for over 10 years. Gold medalist Olympian, has been featured in commercials, brand deals, anything you can think of. Has his own brand that's selling out. He doesn't need the money. He's literally going after, I want to be a champion again. There is no inkling of him trying to go and take a dive. He's taking this fight as seriously as he took Francis Ngannou, as seriously as he took Usyk, as seriously as he can take anybody, because he needs to get back to a world title. If he loses this fight, the fight's over. It's done. It's dead. His career is finished. If he loses against Jake Paul, his career is finished. If he struggles against Jake Paul, his career might be done. Nothing else for Joshua is expected except for an outright demolition, a destruction. A legitimate horror show is what is expected for Anthony Joshua when he puts paws on Jake Paul. Jake Paul asked for this, so I can't say I feel bad because this is what you said that you wanted. And we said you should have built your way up as a fighter to get to a point where you can actually be ready for this. But no, you wanted this now? Okay, here you go. Whatever happens, happens. Whatever happens, happens. Because we told you this ain't what you thought it was, but you said otherwise. But if he struggles, it's going to be his career's finished in terms of Anthony Joshua. Frank Warren said, Eddie Hearn knows it too. So, he's got to fight understanding his career is on the line. He's got to fight as if his career is on the line, because it just might be. If he does indeed somehow, some way get upset by Jake Paul, which again is not happening. It's not happening. There's no way Jake Paul wins this fight. There's no way Jake Paul does not get knocked out in this fight. There's no way Jake Paul even has the stamina to run in this fight. None. He gets put to sleep. So there's nothing he can do. And then this massage is going to be over. But yeah, it's 10 ounce gloves. So that means that every single ounce of power that Anthony Joshua has, Jake Paul will feel. And Jake Paul's going to find out that he really ain't got that type of right hand that he thinks he does. He's got power at the level of a welterweight. Or not welterweight. Middleweight on up. Yeah, power of a cruiserweight. Anybody 175 and down, yeah, you should be able to hurt. Like you've been fighting. But you couldn't knock out an old Mike Tyson. What makes you think even with Joshua being chinny, which he is, what makes you think you're gonna be able to knock out somebody who's had heavyweight level power? Who's been in the ring with Klitschko, who the people who knocked him out are Andy Ruiz, who was a legit heavy-handed puncher with the fastest hands in the division, and Daniel Dubois, who was arguably, at this point in time, the hardest, second hardest, or third hardest puncher in the entire heavyweight division. And the only other buddy he got knocked down against was Klitschko. And he knocked him out afterwards. Then he got buzzed against, I think he got buzzed against like the Dillian White, but he knocked him out too. So it's like, you got to be up here to have that level of, okay, you can hurt him. And I don't think that I don't know. If Shakur ain't saying nothing good about your power after he faced off and sparred with you, if Ford, not Calvin Ford, but Raymond Ford, who trained with you in preparation for Tank, ain't raving about your power at how much do you weigh? It ain't much. 126, 130, 135, whatever the world Raymond Ford is weighing it as right now. And you were in that fight 190, sparring at 180, whatever the case may be. What makes you think you can hurt Anthony Joshua? And for me, nowhere. If you couldn't knock down a Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., who was shelling up and walking forward for over 6 rounds before actually trying to punch with you in rounds 7 and 8, and he was a little punching bag, and you couldn't hurt him, what makes you think you're going to hurt Anthony Joshua? Though you say he's chinny. No. It just not happening. It just happened. It doesn't have to be 10. Jake not seeing 4. You right. He most likely ain't seeing 4 or 5. I would if AJ wants to be really smart, he just boxes and keeps Joshua at bay for 6 rounds, makes him so he wins every round, and Jake Paul uses all his energy trying to lunge in, and then he's tired, like he does every fight, after round 5, and then rounds 6 on, you do one more round of jabbing, and he going for the kill because he ain't got no stamina anymore. Because he definitely ain't going to have no stamina at heavyweight. Not going to be a sitting duck. I think he's slick, but AJ under 245 is agile and uses, yes. That jab can knock you down. That jab can hurt you. That 1-2 combination, but just the straight right, a counter straight right with that much reach advantage. A counter straight right. He did that to Ngannou, and Ngannou's 6'4", with a reach almost as long as Tyson Fury. And AJ was able to pull counter with a straight right over Ngannou's jab, reaching him. With Ngannou leaning out, trying to go in for that jab to the body. Guess what? Jake Paul does that same thing with every shot to the body. So I guarantee you right now, he's going to get put to sleep. He's going to get put to sleep. Now, 10 ounces is nasty work. That's what he deserves. Because this is a heavyweight fight. This is real. I'm not saying everything else was fake, but there's no getting around. You can't fight this brother. On the terms of everything is almost even killed. You can't do it. It's gonna be bad. Joshua makes it look easy. This is a tune-up. This is a tune-up. Be clear. Just like with Ngannou, a tune-up, viral knockout, get everybody excited, get your name out there. You're the man to end the show, and then now you're able to go through with the spectacle of look at what my power can do. And I finally ended the saga of Jake Paul. Everybody hates this brother. I'm the hero of the UK and the world. Next thing you know, I'm in position to get a title opportunity again. Now I'm back in the foray of, hey, let's get this guy a shot. And we see what happens. I guarantee you, that's what's going to happen. AJ definitely is an agile giant. Yeah, he can move. He can box. He can box. The issue was when he was working through the real technical boxing era, we were working through, you're doing this because you're scared to throw and you don't trust your power or you don't trust your chin to throw power like we know you can. But my gosh, against in this fight, if he fights like Ngannou, yeah, he's going to knock him out. He's going to knock him out. 240 AJ is different. Yes, he is. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Let me see. And Jake is already mocking him on social media. It's very bad. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. Joshua just had to take this fight as seriously as a championship fight. And he will put on a absolute, forget masterclass. He'll put on a display that will make Jake Paul's family scared. I want you to recognize I'm not trying to talk in hyperbole. I'm not trying to talk in circumstantial, just hype and pomp and whatever. I am saying genuinely. Jake Paul will fight. Anthony Joshua will fight in a manner that will have Jake's family, friends, and everybody else afraid for the health of Jake Paul. I kid you not. I kid you not. And this, I'm not trying to be fear factor. We got to be real about this. We have to be real about this. This is what he's stepping into. Some people don't get exactly what you're dealing with when you're talking about one of the greatest knockout artists of today's era in Anthony Joshua. People don't get it. Some people don't get it. They don't. What time does the card officially start this Saturday? I believe. Let me check real quick. And then I can say that the actual thing that I wanted to say in regards to this Jake Paul situation about respect that everybody's giving, which I get, but to a degree, we also need to change the conversation a little bit. But I'm gonna get to that real quick. Let me go and look up the time. I need to make sure I have that right myself. Let me see. Yep. All right, so the card starts at 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. 12 a.m. I think Pacific time. So if you are here in the States, it's going to be 3 o'clock in the morning that we got to wake up this weekend on a Saturday and watch Benavidez and Yard. So most likely the main event. Hold on a minute. Wait, hold on. Wait a second. Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. Let me make sure I got this. Hold on. I need to make sure I got this right. Because it's saying, hold on, I need to make sure I got this right. Because it's saying the main card starts at 3 a.m. Eastern. And then the main event is going to start at 9 p.m. So, time out. Hold on a minute. I know it's going to be a big card. But let me click on the Zone's official thing. Okay, hold on. Let me bring this up. Let me bring this up together. Let's all look at this together. Hold on a second. Let's make sure we got this right. Okay, so part of Zone. The broadcast is going to start at 3 p.m. So it's 9 a.m. Okay. So Google AI was wrong. The Zone specifically. The broadcast is going to start 3 p.m. Eastern. 12 a.m. I think Pacific time. But for me, 3 p.m. Eastern. Ring walks for Benavidez and Yard, the main event, are looking like they're going to happen at 9 o'clock. 9:04 specifically. But 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So they're preparing for 6 hours of action. My gosh. Oh, shoot. Well, I'm glad we turned on Super Chats, but I'm going to need some dough. Boy, that's going to be a minute. We're going to be here for a long time, boy. Hey, man. Woo! Oh, gosh. We're going to be here for a minute. I ain't going to lie. But, yeah, so it's looking like 3 p.m. is when the card starts. 9 o'clock is when the card ends. So, just so you know, that's what it's looking like it's going to transpire. But let me keep on getting back to the chats so we can make sure that we staying on board with them. Hold on, wait a minute. I think we got more people chatting. Hold on, I saw it. Hold on, wait a minute. We trying to go through. We trying to go through and find them. I think we got somebody super chatting. Hold on a minute. Let us see. Hold on. Everybody pump the brakes.
We got some problems here.
Somebody done said something or said something. Oh, Mr. Miyagi. Hey, brother. What's going on? How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for the $10 super chat. Absolutely. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. And again, if you didn't know, and I'm not trying to plug it all the time, but because this is the first time, people have been asking. We officially are monetized by YouTube now. I was unsure up until the super chat thing was working, but we good now. We getting money. We getting paid, y'all. We getting paid, yes, sir. We doing good. We making dough. We making dollars. And we about to go and blow up on this channel. We appreciate it. All of you made this possible. Again, we thank you so much. We couldn't do this without you. Please keep on sharing the show. Keep on sharing the live. Keep on sharing the stream. And we can make everything work. Oh, so sublimely. Y'all got I forget what currency. I think this is euros. I don't know exactly what I don't know what this equates to. We're gonna do all the major afterwards. But whatever the case it may be, thank you so much for sending money. Thank you for supporting the channel. We appreciate it. Again, we're funded by the public. We're funded by the people. Hopefully we can get some sponsors down the line. But regardless of which, you all help make this possible, and you all help make this whole thing work. So we appreciate it so much. I want to get paid. Sure, we want to make sure we can make a community that is worthwhile investing in, and we do this because you all deserve the best show possible. And hopefully I'm living up to that standard. So we thank you and appreciate you so much. Let me see. Salute Jean-Luc Welch. I see the super chat feature is now available. Keep up the good work. Best voice in boxing podcasting. Hey, look, man, I appreciate it. Like I said before, I'm just a humble man trying to do the best I can. And hopefully I'm doing everybody proud. And hopefully, whether you agree with what I say or disagree, it comes from a place of legitimate, respect. And also, you value my opinion, hopefully, and I value everything you all say in the world of boxing and beyond on this channel. So thank you all so much. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for the chats. Thank you all for the support. We're gonna keep the ball rolling, absolutely. But again, sentimentalities aside, like I said in the past, we gotta make sure we keep this thing going. But let me keep on reading. Jake Paul family must be concerned for his health, and it's because like the point I was gonna make in the last thing with Jake Paul. Respecting Jake Paul is absolutely warranted. Taking this fight is a big leap, big risk, no question. I'm not denying it. I'm not going to act like, oh man, okay, you're actually getting in the ring with a real killer isn't something that we should laud and be, okay? I can't say nothing against because you're actually taking tests that we said you should take. No issue there. But people in some regards are using the respect aspect to diminish, or rather not talk about, the real severity of the situation. And the real severity of the situation is this. Jake Paul is not ready for this level at all. When I was saying that Jake Paul needs to fight real competition, the same way that we see a Talma or Wardley, people who started late, elevate their comp and go against people that were around or even slightly above their level or even old, well past their prime heavyweights, like a Dillian White, going through to go and do some stuff. Richard Torres against what was it, Vaseline, whoever the word his name was, it started with a V, who he it was a step up in competition, but you didn't look as great against, but it made sense where it was moving up to. Jared Anderson fighting against Frank Martin. Jared Anderson fighting against Charles Martin, former heavyweight champion, but was well past his prime as a fighter. But at that point in time, made sense for the growth of Anderson as a fighter, where he was in his career. That's what I was saying Jake Paul needs to take. Those weren't going to be big fights, but they were going to be fights that would actually push you to be able to grow in the sport. Because you need to see what you can do against incremental jumps, not the big leaps. That's what I was asking for. The people with the big money. Yeah, AJ, Wilder, and others at the heavyweight division, you needed to fight those to keep your same cachet. But if you actually wanted to compete, and if you were really serious, you would go and take the proper steps of a boxer trying to come into the sport. They had no experience. And you've been boxing strictly in the sport for 5 years. No social media, none of that stuff. Strictly training. So this would have been made more sense of fighting a lesser competent name that was still had a championship pedigree, but was well and good out of their prime. That's what I was waiting on. Because that's where you were actually at. Not this. You're not ready for this. You are dumb to take this. You are stupid to think you can compete at this level. Yes, you were backed into a corner where the only way you could make big money was to take these types of fights. But respect out the window, because it's already been given. You are not ready. And we cannot overlook that enough and put a band-aid of respect for you for taking this challenge. You are not ready. You could be in a bad state because you tried to take this fight, because you actually think you're better than what you are. And you actually think that AJ being stiff is the equivalent of I can catch him with the right, and let alone my right hand can hurt him. Brother, I'm going to tell you this right now. At the elite level, by heavyweight standards, you're slow. And you fight at a cruiserweight. At the elite level, by heavyweight standards, you're slow. You're slower than dirt. You're slower than Joe Joyce. You understand that? You're stiffer than Joe Joyce by heavyweight standards, or at least you're right there with him. You are less agile than Martin Bacoli, who tripped over his own feet trying to track down F.A. Ajagba. You're stiffer than F.A. Ajagba. And that brother just now started moving when he tried to fight against Martin Bacoli. There is nothing that this brother's got to be ready for this fight. He's going to be in a bad state. Forget respect, because we already gave the respect. Talk about the real issue. Jake, you don't know what you're doing. Because we can make fun, we can be laughing, we can be all this stuff. The real issue is, forget the clown show. Forget the, this train's going to end and all that stuff. We're not. Your health is actually on the line. Your health is actually on the line. We've seen what AJ can do to people that are built for this division. We've seen what AJ can actually do against actual great chins. We've seen what AJ can do to people that have an actual pedigree. You don't even fit in the top 25 of that caliber of talent. And you really think you're going to be able to will yourself away, let alone reach the likes of Anthony Joshua. Actually, touch him. You think you're actually going to be able to touch him? You think you're actually going to be able to touch him? You're not. You think your power is going to actually be able to be effective? It's not even going to be useful, because it ain't going to be able to be done. Let alone if you overextend like you do every single fight. Every fight that you've been in, you always overextend on your shots and you can't recover in time. They're just too bad, or not even an actual boxer to go and capitalize. You can't deal with it. But the biggest thing that you struggle with is reach. Anderson Silva was going to beat you if you didn't knock him down with the jab. Tommy Fury beat you with the jab alone, and he had a longer reach than you. Not even that big of a reach disadvantage or advantage. Even comparable. You were going to lose. Because you couldn't deal with it. You couldn't deal with it. And now you're dealing with somebody that's got an 80-something inch reach. And in height and in reach, they tower over you. And the only way you can get to them is if you go through and expose yourself. We talk about Devin Haney and that doggone bow and arrow effect. Brother, Jake Paul is the same doggone thing, but it's with every shot that he throws. And he loads up on every shot. You don't know what you're getting into. You don't know what you're getting into. You're about to be put in a bad way. The first round, you're going to find out exactly what it means to be in the ring with an elite guy. And it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. But that was the last thing I wanted to say in regards to the Jake Paul thing. Because real quick, I wanted to make sure I addressed it before we moved on. Because respect is great, but we can't have respect for everything. We can't use respect as a Band-Aid to cover everything else involved with the problems that Jake Paul is about to face. Because it's about to be bad. I mean really bad. An uncomfortable level of bad. I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious. Let me see. Arnold had 6'5" reach. Anyway, had 6'7" 6'7.5", and much faster speed and feet. Combination, he just might blitz Espinosa combinations and straight whites. He could. He absolutely could. And again, the stuff that was working against Espinosa can work with Inoue doing it as well. Absolutely. It can. It can. Arnold should have gotten much good. Yeah, he should have. He should have. Like the threat of that length again is a deterrent. But yeah, he should have closed that gap. If he had, he probably could have had even more success. But he should have closed that gap. He should have. Let me see. Even Logan Paul said, Jake, when you called AJ, you were on crack at the time. Yeah. And it's like it's everything I can say about that fight is very much whoo. That's the best thing I can say. Oh my. That's the oh my is the best thing I can say. Oh my is the best thing I can say, because man, and real quick. I'll play the clip. I got a clip loaded up. I'll play the clip. Let me read the rest of the clips. Let me read the rest of the chat. Excuse me. I'll play this clip afterwards. It's gonna be important. I'll play this clip afterwards. It's gonna be important. Let me keep on reading. Darren talks Leo versus Espinosa. Okay, hey. Finally, I'm gonna say this. Finally. We getting some movement at 126 in the way that it should be. Hey, Leo versus Espinosa, great. No problem there. Hopefully, I would assume it's gonna be in March. I would assume summer, unless they want to try to cram everything in that January, February window. I would assume they might try to start putting some stuff together for early March as a date if they don't want to get cluttered with everything else going on in those couple months, because a lot of stuff's going through right now. Let me see. It should be an interesting. It'll be an interesting fight. Yeah, it will. Oh, absolutely, it will. It'll be a great fight. And featherweight does see movement, and they're finally moving on. Thankfully, thank gosh. But let me see. I feel this weekend is gonna be full of upset wins. But I got a strange feeling. I mean, we're probably gonna see at least two fights that got people shocked and all. Probably gonna see two fights that got people in like, oh my gosh, oh my goodness, can't believe it type situation. So it's gonna be, yeah, hey, brother, people gonna be concerned. People, in terms of people betting money, people gonna be concerned. People gonna be concerned because he's gonna have a lot of folks being like, I don't know where to go with some of these fights. But that's what a great card does to you. It makes you feel there's a level of uncertainty going forth, which is great, which is phenomenal, which is incredible with the entirety this month and next month. Like, there's a lot of uncertainty going around in the world of boxing for how these fights are gonna go, which is great. That means that there's quality comp going up against quality comp. And that's what we want. That's what we want. This is boxing, man. Anything can happen. You absolutely right about it. Let me see. Cause you can't expect anyone to always unify. I mean, like, crazy enough, I expect it up until it doesn't happen. That's my thing. I expect it to happen until it doesn't happen. So I gotta do what you gotta do. At this point, for some fighters, it's like you can't imagine them losing in any endeavor, regardless of the opponent, even if the opponent, again, is stiff comp. And everybody on that samurai card, that's stiff comp. That's some hard people to beat. But the uncertainty is deserved. It's deserved. It is. Hey. And that's why even this fight with Picasso, and I expect in a way, again, to win. I'm not going to lie and tell you I don't feel some level of something could go wrong. Because again, I thought Cardenas was going to be a walk in the park. Next thing you know, Cardenas, brother, he showed up. Forget showed up, but that man now got a following. Because that brother legit. All you got to do is just stop throwing everything with 100 miles an hour. Get that stamina a little bit better. Hey, man, that's a problem for anybody. At 122. It's a nightmare for anybody at 122. It's everybody. Shoot. And look, Abdullah Mason should win against Noakes. That fight isn't even, I can say confidently, yeah, I think Abdullah is going to knock him out. Guess what? That fight ain't set in stone either. Noakes can crack as well. Noakes can punch insanely good. I think both of them got like a similar knockout ratio. And with Abdullah Mason, we know that brother can defend right, and he can still get caught and still get put down. Not saying he can't get up, but it can be trouble. It can be trouble. Whoa, no, in a way, will be extremely focused to make it to the Junto fight. He will. I don't think he's looking past Picasso as he shouldn't. Picasso has said that people might be overlooking him. Or I believe he said in a couple of interviews, people may be overlooking him, but they better be careful. Because I can go and upset all this stuff. I can go and change plans in a heartbeat. And it would be very much privy for anyone to be deathly focused on Picasso. And handle your business. Don't compromise how you fight. But you do what you do. Don't waste time in trying to put on a show or make a statement. Because the statement's already been made with your resume. You don't need to do nothing else but just win. Not win as in be uber conservative, just survive. Because that can be bad. That can cause you to lose, actually. But if you just fight like you and do what you know you can do at your best, take this fight with ease, win it with ease. Now you can focus on what you need to do. Now the big dog comes out. That's where we can see, again, the fireworks really fly. My concern is the Saudi climate. A lot of fighters getting sick or not performing well. Yeah, it could be the time shift change for a lot of people. For some people, and this is not the people's fault. We're not calling the people dirty. We're not calling the people of Saudi or anybody else across the board. They're unsanitary. We're stopping that rhetoric right now. Some people say that. We ain't playing. We ain't doing that. But it is true that at times, different environments, whether it's foods and all that stuff, not because it's not clean, but because it's different, affects the body and the ability of people because you're not adjusted to it. That has happened. That has been absolutely true. That's been absolutely true. For people coming here to the States, same thing. So that can be a factor However, with Inoue and others already have been used to traveling abroad, and again, all of them take precautions of the highest caliber because they understand, hey, we travel, we know what to deal with and all this stuff. I don't think it should be a major concern. The vestiges of Dubois and Floyd Schofield have everybody in a very much panicked state. But I don't think it's going to be a big factor now going forward. I think we should be okay. We should be okay. We should be A-okay, in my opinion. Let me see. Anyway, said this would be a tough fight. I can imagine. Because if you ain't familiar with Picasso, unlike with what my knowledge was with Cardenas, Picasso ain't nothing to mess with. That's not a cliche phrase I say. That's actual. Picasso ain't nothing, just like Ahmad Ali, for people that weren't attuned to who Ahmad Ali was. He wasn't nothing to mess with. Anyway, to put a performance like that against Ahmad Ali was insane. Ridiculous. Picasso, he ain't, boy, yeah, you better be careful. You have to be fully focused on him. He can be a problem. Even for the caliber of an Inoue, yeah, he can be a problem. He can be a legit problem. So he Inoue does need to make sure he's on his P's and Q's. I'm not gonna lie about that. But that being said, Inoue by a spectacular knockout, yeah, hey, I'm picking it. But I'm being, like I said, I learned from Cardenas. I need to, even with me knowing the people, I need to be more diligent with me understanding the capacity of what these people are doing. Because again, Inoue does not fight bums or people that are just ho-hum. Nah. If you in the ring with this brother, unless you were last minute replacement like Yi Jun Kim, yeah, you probably got something. So be not wary. Well, no, be wary. And be attentive because Picasso, he can turn this whole fight around. He can't. After the Cardenas fight, I don't think his dad, Shingo, will allow Noya to take any challenger lightly like Cardenas. Yeah, I don't think he will. And I don't even think he took Cardenas lightly. I think Cardenas just showed, hey, brother, I fought at 130, and I can show y'all that power ain't no fluke. It's something serious. So, yeah, he taking him deathly serious. I do believe. Anyway, will KO Picasso? I think so. I truly do. I truly think he will. I think he will. It'll most. I'll go with a straight right. I'll go with a straight right shot from Picasso. Excuse me, probably around round 7 or 8. A straight right is what ends the deal. It'll probably be a hook that starts it, or an uppercut that starts the beginning of the end, and a straight right is the thing that puts him down. I think that for me, that's what I see. That's what I see is going to happen. That's what I see is going to happen because it is that boy is something serious. Let me see. I can a body TKO from Inoue. Yeah, nah. I'm saying it's gonna be a right to the head. I think it's gonna be a straight right to the head that ends it. But it could be a body shot that takes it out. Well, will it? Yeah, a body shot ain't out the question. I think it's going to be a straight shot to the head. I think it's going to be a straight shot to the head. Straight shot. Picasso's on the back foot. Or it's a counter. And Picasso tries to come in, Inoue comes through, boom. A short, straight right that puts him down. That puts him down and finishes the job. And cleans his clock. But most likely, it's going to be a hook that starts the whole downward spiral cycle. A hook's going to be the thing that starts all of it. I said uppercut, but I think it's going to be a hook that starts the entire avalanche of up. It's going down. It's going to be, we're going to be saying that. It's going to be a hook. I think it's going to be it. And so, again, we'll break down that fight more so on some, we'll break down that fight in the weeks to come as it gets closer and closer. Because right now, most of the focus is on this November card that's happening next week. So we got a lot of fights to cover. We got a lot of stuff that we're going to have to delve into. Absolutely. But we are running up on 3 hours onto the show, so we don't want to go too far long in the show. So we're going to do a last call now for the championship rounds. That's right. We're officially in round 12 now. This is it. Last call for whatever you want to say in anything involving the world of combat sports, NFL, NBA, boxing, movie sports, television, video games, all that stuff. We going to be about it. We are also just got news, or I think like a couple hours ago, Usyk has dropped his belts, if you did not know. For those of you who are just tuning in, or for those of you who haven't heard, before we get out of here, Usyk dropped the belts. Usyk is no longer a champ at the heavyweight division, no longer undisputed, and now it is Fabio Wardley, who is now the new reigning WBO heavyweight champion of the world after taking the belt, after taking the interim belt from Joseph Parker. And I'm going to tell you this right now, I feel so bad for Joseph Parker. All he had to do was keep that belt for a couple more weeks and win this fight, and he would have been a world champion again. He would have been a world champion again. And that, man, that sucks. That sucks. This cat, he loses the fight. And again, what I think was a stoppage that shouldn't have happened, but still, he was up on the card. So I thought he should have kept on. It shouldn't have been a stoppage. I really don't think it should have been a stoppage. Standing in count, okay, cool, maybe. But it should have been a stoppage. But he loses the fight, then gets caught with cocaine in the system. Then now his opponent gets the belt given to him because Usyk drops it and doesn't want to keep it. And now he's the current champ. Man, I know that stinks. I know that stinks. I know that hurts. I feel so bad. I feel so bad. I feel so bad, man. It's such a shame. It's such a shame, man. I can't. It's horrible. Let me see. Wardley is WBO champ. Yep, he's now the reigning WBO champ. Now the question is, will Usyk try to fight Wardley and go for 3-time undisputed? Which again, because he dropped the belt, he put himself in position if he fights against Wardley to get 3-time. He literally fabricated, as somebody said on Twitter, he fabricated his own run at history. But again, in all seriousness, why he dropped the belt, I don't know. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know. Unless he is looking for a fight with Tyson Fury, and he's not going to defend the belts against the mandatory, and he's looking for in that fight potentially in the works. Hypothetically, I don't know. Truly, I don't. And so I'm a little bit of a perplexing move. Unless he just didn't want to pay the fees that he had to pay to the WBO. I don't know. I don't know. We're going to really see where this whole cycle goes as time goes on. And we're going to find out. But again, we are in the last call, so we're going to try to, we got like 2 minutes. I'm not going to lie, because we don't want to go 3 hours. We're trying to keep it under 2. We try to keep it under 3, as close as possible, or at least at 3. We're going to wrap it up. So let me go through these chats a little bit more quicker. Do you think AJ beats Wardley? Godly, man, I don't know. Does he outbox him? Sure. Does he? Well, it depends on what AJ's coming through. If it's the AJ that came against Dubois, that was all offense, no defense, yeah, Wardley beats him. He can beat that. He can beat that AJ. If it's the AJ that's uber defensive and is boxing, like boxing, and is really dedicated to not getting hit, I would pick AJ to win that fight. If it's the AJ that comes back with the perfect yin and yang that he had when he was initially heavyweight champion and when he beat Klitschko and when he was reigning as the best heavyweight in the world, then yeah, AJ beats Wardley easily in that regard. Because Wardley, he is not going to be able to keep getting away with this type of stuff. Saving graces of one punch, find a way. It's an incredible heart, but like I keep on saying, there's a certain threshold. Heart is not going to be able to sustain you when it's not backed by the requisite substance of being able to get better as a boxer. It ain't. It got him a title. I can't deny that. But in the ring against people, it's going to come to a head. It's going to come to a head. And again, he said himself, he's learning on the fly. He's trying to get better. He isn't technical. He hasn't said he's technical by any means. We understand that. He's upfront about that. But also, I'm upfront about we know what works and what doesn't. And there's going to be a thing where that ain't going to work. There's going to be a thing, it ain't going to work. It ain't going to work for a point in time. Unless you truly do improve. And sustain that improvement. Beyond just having first couple rounds, you're doing the right stuff, and then all of a sudden you regress back to what you are. Because again, you're tired. Because you're getting outboxed. And because you keep on getting into a situation where you have to find a way. If you have to find a way to win in every fight, there's going to be a point in time where you don't find a way. If you have to find a way to win in every fight, you're going to not find a way at one point. Cave is going to collapse. You're going to get lost in the weeds. You ain't going to be able to get out in some situations. That escape hatch is going to lock, and you can't unlock it if you ain't careful. So, that fight, for where AJ is right now, that's 50-50. That's 50-50. That is 50-50. Because Anthony Joshua can outbox Wardley. But at the same time, he can get knocked out in the last second. More confidently, I can say AJ can get knocked out more confidently in the last seconds or in the waiting stage of the fight than the other two people that Wardley got the knockout against. So it's 50-50 for me. I don't know. Have you noticed any way he analyzes his opponents before the fight even happens? He does. He truly does. The strengths, the weaknesses, the ability, the tendencies, all of that. No, they're meticulous with it. But yeah, Usyk is no longer, he's still a champ. He's just no longer undisputed. Now he dropped the belt. Why he dropped the belt, I still don't know. But he dropped the belt. And because of that, Wardley now got elevated from interim because he beat Joseph Parker and had his own interim WBO belt. And now he's a world champion. Now he's an official world champion. Similar situation to Rolly Romero when he got elevated to fully championship status. I think Sky will style on Avila and KO her. Yep, I'm right there with you. I ain't right. I don't think it's going to be style. I think it's going to be a mauler. I don't think it's going to be styling on her. I think she going to maul her. She going to maul her. I think she going to maul her. But let me see. I really don't like Usyk dropping the belt. Feels like he swerved Wardley because Usyk said he would fight the winner and claimed injury when WBO first mandated the fight with Parker. So this fight, he could have dropped the belt because he is trying to, again, fight Wardley and become 3-time undisputed in the heavyweight division. So he still could take the fight with Wardley. But now with both titles on the line, he can reclaim the status of heavyweight undisputed champ 3 times in a row, which I believe has not been done before. We've seen Ali get the titles back, lose them, and win them. But I don't know if he's been 3-time undisputed. I'm trying to remember how the belts worked when he got the belts later on in his career. I gotta think. Unless I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, please enlighten me, please. But in the 4-belt era, I know that's never happened. So that could be why. But again, I can't speculate up until I get some more information because it is questionable. It is indeed questionable, at least to me. Sky no longer being a smiling girl. No, she ain't. She ain't at all. So it's great. Is Usyk thinking about retirement? He is, but down the line. He said that he has 5 more fights left in him. His manager said that he signed a 5-fight deal. This takes him up until he's about 41, I believe, if my math is right. So we got a little bit of a road before retirement comes into play. He's got 5 fights left that he signed because he said he still got more in the tank. his manager and his words. So right now, no. Still got some gas in the tank. But we're going to find out. If he doesn't, he say, yeah, I'm done. I'm going to tell you after this. Let me see. Is she fighting to hurt her opponents? Is she fighting? She is fighting, to hurt her opponents. Yes, she is. Did you watch the JK movie this weekend? I was trying to find it. And I couldn't find it. I couldn't find where to stream it. And I was struggling. I ended up trying to find it on some bootleg sites. And it didn't work. I just learned that they actually had it on Netflix. I didn't know they had it on Netflix. So now, I got it. And so today, I'm watching the film. Today, I'm watching the movie. So I'm watching, I couldn't find it. I didn't know it was on Netflix. So I couldn't find it. And I didn't know where to find it. Now that I do, I'm watching after the show. Because I love the series. Now, I did read, in lieu of trying to also find the thing, I did read that there is a watch order of you watch season 1 and then you watch the movie and then you go and watch season 2. And then you said watch the movie 0, then watch season 1 and 2 all the way through. I can try it both ways, but we I guess we're gonna find out which way works better. I'm gonna still watch the movie. We watching the film. Be clear, we watching the film. We watching that movie this week, if not today, because now I know it's on Netflix. We're gonna watch it today, but we're gonna see which one works better. But regardless of which, I can't wait to see it, because boy, I am excited. Now that I have it, now that I found it, now that I know where to see it, and now that I know it's actually easily accessible, oh, we moving through. We working. Oh, I'm excited because we're working. Let me see. Last question. What's your final prediction for Haney versus Norman? Well, you can find that out on tomorrow on Thursday. No, I'm kidding. I'll give you a sneak peek. I have Norman winning. I do. We're going to break down the fight intricately on Thursday, after we are with a couple of the other big fights happening on the card. But I got Norman winning, and I have him winning by knockout. And it's more than just the mentality of Devin Haney, though that is the biggest aspect that I see that why Haney's going to get knocked out. But what the intricate paces, the intricate ways that's going to happen, we're going to break it down on Thursday. And so be here, be live, get ready. It's going to be a great show. It's going to be exciting. We're going to break that down as to why that's going to happen and what's going to take place for that. But we are at the 3-hour mark, and so we got to get on out of here. So with all that being said, let me see real quick. Hold on, it makes sense both ways, but there are references that you won't realize unless you watch the movie first. Okay. So we're going to watch the movie first, then 1 and 2, we're going to work through. Absolutely. So with that being said, I think we're going to pack this show up and get out of here. The first ever monetized show of this entire Welch Report saga. We appreciate y'all tuning in. And hey, it's time to get out of here, shall we? So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of The Watchable with me, host, Yellowers. Thank you to all of you who supported and joined in on the stream with us today. We appreciate all of you coming through and making this thing great. Again, if you want to support the channel, we got 3 ways to give now. We got Cash App, we got PayPal, and you can give via Super Chats on this stream right here, right now, before you get on out of here, if you want to, and if it means to, and it would mean the world if you did. I love and I appreciate you so much. Thank you to everybody who gave and who supported and who tuned into the show. It means the world to me. We appreciate it absolutely. We're going to be back next week to cover the world of boxing and beyond. The top chatters for today: number 5 is Franklin's Honor. Number 4, Bodega. Number 3 is hold on, it's loading up. Hold on, it's loading up. Hold on a minute. Wait a second. My rankings are on the fritz. We gotta make sure we call these people out right. Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go. It wasn't lined up right. So here we go. Number 5, Franklin's Honor. Number 4, Bodega. Number 3, the Mo Network. Number 2 was Amen Motor. And number 1, overshooting voter for the top commenter of the day is Mr. Miyagi. Yes, sir. Congratulations to you for taking the top spot in the world of the pound for pound chatters on this show today. We appreciate all your support. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for supporting. We're going to be back to Thursday for more show, more fun, more excitement, more laughs, and all around more entertainment. And hey, if you want to give, please support anything we'll do. You all, this is the channel funded by you all. You all help pay some bills and help make this whole thing possible. Keep on liking the stream. Subscribe if you haven't already. Or excuse me, like the stream before you get on out of here. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell so you know when we post right here on YouTube. Join the empire and share the show with everybody that you know. So we can keep on building up this empire together, all with you and your support. Thank you all for tuning in. Hopefully you have a great day. I've been John Welch. Y'all have been wonderful. Peace and love. We are out here. Yes, sir. We gonna see you all on Thursday. Be safe. Be blessed. And we out.